Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei was the reincarnation of Anu's Voldigoad Part 2. Before we start, please go support John354 for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistake in character's gender, but of course Issei is a male. 15. A few days had passed since Issei returned to his dimension and met his two new friends. At first they didn't get along, but in the end, with Issei's help, they were able to say everything they wanted and Issei helped them. It was a new day and it was time for rest, and Issei was under a tree resting. "Sasha, you look very calm there." At that Issei opens his eyes and looks at them. "Issei, it's a cool day, it's good to relax." "Misha, it's a nice day." The two sisters sit next to Issei and they see him a little thoughtful. "Sasha, something's up, Demon King." He said it with a bit of mockery since they already knew that he is the Demon King. "Issei, nothing, just thinking about when I'll leave." Saying that, both of them had their eyes wide open. "Misha, but we've only been in school for less than a month." "Issei, I came to this school out of curiosity, nothing else." "Sasha, you have no intention of taking back your throne." "Issei, not at all. That's my past now, I have a good life. Besides, there are people waiting for me." Closing my eyes and thinking about all the girls in the DxD world. "Misha, like who?" "Issei, I'll tell them someday. Maybe when I leave." "Sasha, you think we'll let you go that easily?" "Issei, someday I may just disappear and you'll never see me again." "Sasha, you know you can't walk away from us." "Issei, who knows?" At that Issei gets up and the two sisters do the same and head to their fencing class. Upon reaching Issei, a small smile forms on his face. "Misha, something's wrong." "Issei, I remembered something." Remembering his first day with Griselda, the two instructors who were some of Issei's subjects arrive. But I didn't pay any attention to it. The two masters made them draw their swords to enter the tournament. Issei does nothing and goes to sit down. "Sasha, don't tell me you can't." "Issei, I can but I won't. As I said before, I don't intend to stand out that much." Going to the exit. In that Issei hears someone being pulled to take out the sword. I'll change some things since Issei doesn't want to stand out and cause so much trouble. Issei, without taking it seriously, left the place, heading towards his house. Upon arriving, as soon as he opened the door, Isabella greeted him with a hug. "Isabella, I missed you so much that you came earlier." "Issei, it was a boring day so I had nothing to do there." "Isabella, I see you want something to eat. I'll make your favorite." "Issei, okay." With that, they both go to the kitchen. Isabella goes to cook and Issei stays at the table reading a book. Minutes later she arrives with his favorite dish. Issei closes the book and starts eating while she just watches him. When I finished, Isabella was going to say something but Issei got there first. "Issei, someday I will leave." Isabella's smile disappeared from her face upon hearing that. "Isabella, where to?" "Issei, don't worry, I don't know when that day will be." "Isabella, but you will leave me alone." "Issei, you too must restart your life. As you know, I am not your son." Issei had already told her who he was before. Isabella was initially surprised but accepted it easily. "Isabella, that has nothing to do with it. I don't want you to go away from me. Besides, I'll feel very lonely." Shedding a few tears, Issei just gets up from his seat and goes to her and gives her a hug. "Issei, I don't know the date so don't worry." "Isabella, you still won't leave without me." "Issei, we'll see about that later." She was going to say something but Issei puts a sleeping spell on her and then takes her to his room. As he did so, he left his house again to walk around, where he met the two sisters. "Sasha, hey, you left without us." "Issei, I had things to do." "Misha, going out to eat isn't like that." "Issei, that's right. Since you guys can't cook, He said it with a half-smile, and when the two of them heard that, they turned red in embarrassment. Issei could only think. Issei, they are strong like those two, but the only thing they need is to improve their cooking. Letting out a light laugh. Sasha, what are you laughing at? Issei, just thinking about the past. Sasha, you act weird when you're with us. Issei, you remind me of two people, only they are always very direct and you have a hard time expressing yourselves. Misha, they are yours. Issei, irreplaceable people, I would say. Misha, what are they like? Issei, I don't know how to describe them, I have no idea how they will do now. Sasha, they're still alive. Issei, of course. Misha, so where will they go? Issei, maybe, but that will be later. Well, tell me who is going to participate in the tournament. Sasha, just one from the noble faction called Lei. Misha, because you didn't come in. I know you could pull out that sword. Issei, there's no need to stand out so much, and if I do, I would only endanger my closest loved ones like you. Saying that, they both blushed. With that, Issei continued on his way, and the two of them followed him. Days passed and the tournament was held, with Lei becoming the obvious champion since Issei did not enter. Issei and the girls were in their classroom until the teacher gives the announcement. Amelia, okay students, I have something important to tell you. Those of the Chaos Generation will go to the Hero Academy. Issei, Sasha, what is this about Hero Academia? Sasha, it is where future heroes and reincarnations of the hero canon are trained. Issei, I see. The trip will be interesting. Days passed and everyone was getting ready to leave. The teacher made the announcement, and everyone headed out. Sasha, hey, you're not coming. Issei, you two come. We'll leave another way. Without saying anything, they go towards him, and in that Issei snaps his fingers and they are teleported to the city. Sasha, what? Issei, I came here a long time ago, so I knew. And you'll do well. Misha, we will go and inform Emilia-sensei and you will tell us what you will do. Issei, I'll go investigate something at that academy. I wish you luck. At that, Issei starts walking. Minutes later he arrives at the grand entrance, and was about to enter, but someone stops him. You're from the Demon King Academy, right? I didn't know you would arrive today. Issei, I arrived earlier with my companions and I was curious to come. I see. Pardon my manners, my name is Elanor. Issei, nice to meet you, my name is Issei. At that, Issei begins to walk towards her, and when they are face to face she blushes because of how close they are. Issei, I see. Elanor, something's wrong. Issei, nothing interesting to say. Would you do me a favor and show me around? Elanor, how polite for a demon. Issei, so you want me to cause a ruckus? Elanor, we're not going at all. At that, Issei puts his arm out, and she takes it. Elanor, how elegant too. Issei, thanks for the compliment. Plus it made the other students jealous. Elanor, what are you talking about? Issei, look around you. At that point she starts to look and realizes how they look at her. They look like a couple and she blushes. Elanor, we don't look like a couple like this. Issei, yes, and from what I see, you are very popular. Elanor, I don't pay attention to such matters. Issei, good. He then grabbed her by the waist, and they continued walking. When she realized this, her eyes widened, but she did nothing. Issei, if you don't say anything, it's because you like it, right? She didn't say anything as her face was all red. Issei just put on a half smile and let go of her. Elanor, you're bad at doing that. Making a pout. Issei, so you want me to continue? Elanor, of course not. You're not a normal person. Issei, I see. Let's continue. In that, Issei continues walking and Elanor only follows him, since if he walks alone he would cause a lot of problems. 16. A few minutes passed and both continued walking around the entire Hero Academy without having many problems. Issei, I won't deny that it's a good place. Elanor, that's true. The good thing is that there are no more wars and now we can have a peaceful life. Issei, yes. Elanor, I realized something on our walk, Issei-kun. Issei, and that would be it. Elanor, you don't want to stand out so much. Because every time we passed by a large group, you lost a lot of presents. Issei, I see, so you noticed. Elanor, of course it wasn't that easy to do, the truth. Issei, in response to your question, I don't want any problems with anyone, much less with Canon's reincarnations. Elanor, I see. Issei, besides, they have been watching us for a long time but they have not acted yet. He told her this in hatred, and she was surprised when she heard that. Issei, act normal. Elanor, okay. Continuing their walk. Elanor was about to say something but then the two sisters arrived. Sasha, you found someone so quickly. Issei, I wanted to get to know my surroundings but I couldn't go in alone. Sasha, I see. Issei, and they already informed the teacher. Sasha, yes, and when he saw us he was a little surprised. Misha, I was about to faint. Issei, I see, let me introduce her to you, she is Elanor, a friend of mine. Elanor, nice to meet you. Sasha, my name is Sasha Necron. Misha, my name is Misha Necron. Both bowing. Issei, and where will we stay this time until the others come? Misha, the hotel is nearby, you want to go there? Issei, it's kind of late now, so, let's get going. It was a pleasure meeting you, Elanor. Touching her head and then leaving with the two sisters, leaving Elanor a little blushed. Upon arriving at the hotel they rested a bit, and hours later went down to dinner. Although it was just them since the hotel was reserved for them. Misha, Issei, what do you think we should do when everyone arrives? Issei, maybe keep listening to stories about the war. Sasha, because you decided to end the war. Issei, I had already grown tired of unnecessary deaths on both sides. And as you can see, there is now a bit of peace. Misha, because you say little. Issei, there can be no peace without war. Sasha, true. Issei, can I ask something? Issei, go ahead. Sasha, in you I can feel two types of energy, each one being the other. Issei remembered that he forgot to hide his king piece, so he just lets out a sigh and speaks. Issei, the answer is easy. The king piece was taken out, and the two sisters were surprised to see how the piece came out. Sasha, what is that? Issei, sooner or later they'll have to find out. Let's finish dinner and go out. At that the two sisters just nod because they are curious and finish and start eating dinner in silence. Minutes later they left the place, walking silently through the streets until they reached one side. Sasha, and you will tell us well. Issei, well, remember that I told you that I have to go back somewhere. They both just nodded. Issei, 2,000 years ago I let myself be killed by the hero cannon and I was tired, so I decided to go to another dimension and start from scratch. Both of them were surprised upon hearing that. Issei, I was born into a family of magicians and I have two sisters. Sasha, it's a lot of information, plus the fact that there's another dimension. Issei, to tell the truth, there are many, I choose at random. The one I ended up in has demons, angels, among others. Misha, it all sounds good. Issei, and it is. Misha, remember what I called you when we first met? Misha, Juliet is not like that. Issei, yes, she is my older sister just like Akira. In that Issei shows a hologram and both were surprised when they saw it because it was them. Sasha, they look just like us. Misha, you were referring to them when you told us that in the park, right? Issei, if they are very lively, they are also my partners. Sasha, wait, how is that possible if they are brothers? Issei, they were once humans, but when they became demons and half-dragons, we stopped being them. Sasha, I see. That world sounds really interesting, actually. Issei, I won't deny it, that place is interesting. Although for me everyone there is a little weak, especially the demons. Misha, you like it there. Issei, denying it is of no use. I have like 8 couples waiting for me there. Sasha, what? How is that possible? I really should stop being surprised by you. Issei, and well, about the piece, the high-class demons can have a set of evil pieces, and as you can see they are a chess set. Misha, Issei, if you go I can go with you. Sasha, you're serious, Misha. Misha, yes, and I also love Issei. Sasha was surprised when she heard that, but she also spoke. Sasha, I want to go too and I love you too. He said it with a big blush. Issei, you guys think I was going to leave you here? From the moment we met you were already mine. The two of them blushed deeply upon hearing that. Sasha, don't say it like that. Issei, you know what I mean. But it won't seem strange to them to see themselves like this when they return. Sasha, not really. Maybe they'll be the ones who are surprised. Issei, maybe? Well, stay there. At that, Issei approaches them and takes out 2 pieces of a pocket dimension, giving a rook to Misha and a pawn to Sasha. Issei, and how are you? Sasha, I feel stronger, honestly. Misha, same. Issei, I'm glad now that you know the truth. One of these days I'll let you know when we're leaving. But you won't miss this place. Misha, not on my part, honestly. Sasha, I don't have anything here so I'm fine. Issei, I see. Well, let's go rest. They both just nod and each takes one of Issei's arms and the 3 of them return to the hotel again. A few days passed and at that time the girls did not separate from Issei since they finally confessed to him, and he did not care much. At that time the other students began to arrive. Until time was up and all the students of the Demon Academy were gathered. Amelia, well, since you are the ones who managed to arrive, it is time to start all this. With that they headed to the Hero Academy where they were guided to a room where others were. Issei smiled at Elanor when he saw her, and she just blushed when she saw him. Minutes passed and they began to talk. The same thing happening as the original story where the heroes wanted to humiliate the demons, but this time Issei did the same thing as the story since he would soon leave. The heroes, seeing such humiliation, became angry but did nothing. Hours passed and everyone was already leaving. Sasha, I thought you didn't want to stand out. Issei, I don't like people playing dirty and besides, we'll be leaving soon. Misha, you're in a hurry to get back. Issei, I have to see the others and I also have to look for my other team members. Sasha, you mean you're going to another dimension? Issei, that's right. Sasha, we can go with you, right? Issei, I don't know, I'll see when we're all gathered there. They both just nodded and continued on their way to their hotel to rest. Issei walked through the academy while the others prepared for a match between heroes and demons. While walking he ran into Elanor. Issei, we haven't talked in a while. Elanor, well, we've been busy this time. I'll leave you, I have something important to do. She was about to leave but Issei took her hand. Issei, I don't want you to continue doing that. Elanor, what are you talking about? Issei, I know you're Elanor since the day I met you, I realized. But I liked you so I didn't say anything. Elanor was surprised when she heard all this and took a few steps back, lowered her head and shed a few tears. Elanor, then you will be able to kill me. Issei, yes, but I won't do it. Elanor, because... At that Issei begins to walk until he is in front of her. Issei, like I said before, I like you. You're cheerful and you make me laugh. Elanor, so. Issei, I want you to come with me, I will give you a quiet life. Elanor, I can't. If I leave everyone will look for me and there's Zeshia. Issei, don't worry about it. At that Issei snaps his finger and Elanor feels something different within herself. Elanor, what did you do to me? Issei, I made all those girls come back to you. And also. At that Issei summons his sword and with the tip he puts it on Eleanor's chest. Issei, you're mine now. Putting on a half-smile, Elanor shed a few tears upon hearing that and gave Issei a hug since she is free. Issei, you will always be with me from now on until when you want to leave. Elanor, I will never leave your side because ever since we were together that day you caught my attention. She then gives Issei a kiss on the lips, surprising him a little. When they separated, Elanor had a big smile on her face. Elanor, now you will take responsibility for my no. Issei, sure. We will leave shortly. Elanor, where to? Issei, to my house, and after that we will go to my other house which is very far from here. Elanor, where? Issei, he's in another dimension. Elanor was surprised to hear that. At that Issei explained everything to her, leaving her shocked. Elanor, so you have many partners? Issei, yes, but I love them all equally, okay. Elanor, I understand, and tell me, I too will have one of those pieces. Issei, no. Elanor, because... Issei, because you are part of my magic, so it is not necessary. You are already in my group. Elanor just hugged him. After a few seconds they both went to the hotel to wait for the other two. Minutes later they were both arriving and were surprised to see Elanor. Issei, and tell me how it went. Sasha, seriously, that's what you're going to say, don't explain the other thing. Issei, she is my magic and partner too. The two were surprised, but it was for a few seconds since they knew more or less what it was like. Sasha, the heroes won but they cheated. They tried to call someone else but no one ever came. Issei, I see. Well, get together everyone, we'll leave in a few seconds. Misha, where to? Issei, I'll go to my house and then we'll leave, nothing is keeping me here anymore. Sasha, don't tell him you just came to find matches. Issei, I didn't come here to see how this world was going, but I see that it will be fine. Elanor, then we will leave today. Issei, yes. At that he gets up from his seat, and the girls approach him. At that Issei teleports with the girls in front of his house. As Isabella entered, she was surprised to see Elanor. Issei, the time has come to go, tell me, will you come with me? Isabella, of course, you know I will never leave you alone. Issei, I see. But we will be leaving this world. Isabella was surprised to hear that Issei explained everything to her. Issei, now that you know, you will go. Isabella, of course, I don't have anything here that I hate. So let's go. Giving him a smile, Issei just nods and creates a portal and they all enter together. When they left they were in Issei's apartment, the girls who lived with him were in class. The girls were surprised when they looked around because everything was new. Issei, take a seat, I'll call the others. The girls just nodded. At that Issei activates his king piece. In class as Akira and Irina were in class until Akira suddenly stands up. Akira, Irina is back. Irina said this with a smile, and when she heard that she also stood up. Irina, where is it? Akira, in the fourth we go. Irina just nodded and they both ran away. The teacher couldn't even say anything. In Class A, Juliet felt that and also ran away with joy. Penemy was giving her lessons when she felt Issei's arrival and left the classroom, leaving them with some work. Griselda was in her class too, and upon learning of Issei's return she left the class. Gabriel was in heaven, and upon learning of Issei's return he quickly left the place, leaving the paperwork. With Seraphal she was talking with Surzek until she felt Issei's arrival. Seraphal, I have to go. He didn't even let Surzek answer as he had left in a magic circle. Leifi was in her room talking to Kuroka until she felt Issei return, and then she got up. Kuroka, where are you going? Leifi, I have something important to do, see you later. He didn't let Kuroka answer as he activated a magic circle and headed to the place. Issei, knowing that everyone was coming, just stood there. After a few minutes, the first to arrive were her sisters and Irina giving her a kiss. Then Penemy arrived doing the same. Griselda and Gabriel arrived at the same time giving her a hug. Seraphal also gave him a kiss when she arrived, as she promised. When Leifi arrived, some were surprised, but they put it aside. She, with some shame, hugged him and gave him a kiss too. Leify, as promised. She said it a little blushed. Issei just smiled at the girls. Issei, I'm back. The girls just gave him a smile. Issei, before I speak, let me introduce you to my partners and my mother over there. Upon hearing that, they were surprised, and the girls got up and went towards them. The sisters were surprised when they saw the other two. Juliet, wait, they look like us. Issei, to be honest, I was even surprised to find out. Either you show up or I'll do it. Sasha, I'll do it. My name is Sasha Necron, nice to meet you. Bowing elegantly. Misha, my name is Misha Necron, nice to meet you too. Eleanor, my name is Eleanor, I hope we get along. Isabella, well, I'm Isabella and I'm Issei's mother. Nice to meet my son's other partners. They were all in shock from everything that was happening. Issei, you see, the place I went to was my true dimension. The girls were surprised to learn that except for two angels who already knew. Akira, but because you have another mother. Issei, I decided to be born as a baby and well that's what happened. I'd better show you what happened. In that, she created a hologram and everyone could see her life in the other dimension. Seraphal, wow, that was quite a surprise. But the place looks great. Issei, partly it is. Juliet, that's why they didn't want us to go with you. Issei, that's right. Seraphal, may I ask you a favor? Seraphal, sure. Issei, help me enroll them. Also, clean up Leify's record and get him to come study too. Seraphal, it won't be very easy, but with what happened with Leify I will achieve it, so don't worry. Issei, thank you. Akira, as I see it, they wear the same uniforms. Issei, over there, only nobles can use red. It doesn't change much from here. Gabriel, it's true. Penemu, but well, leaving that aside, you will return to the academy again. Issei, maybe. Griselda, you're planning to leave again, aren't you? Issei, partly yes. I came so the girls would be here so they would get along with you. Seraphal, and where will you go? Issei, I don't know. Penemu, but this time you will take us, right? Issei, I'll go first to see if the place is not dangerous. Leify, we can also defend ourselves. Issei, I know. Let's eat something, okay? The others just nodded since they couldn't talk to him. Then some girls went to cook and others went to talk to get to know each other better. Penemu and Tiamat were on top of Issei as they missed him. After a few minutes everyone was eating happily. Issei had enlarged the apartment so that everyone could stay there. When they finished, everyone went to sleep. Although all the girls slept with Issei except Isabella. Issei didn't say anything and just slept. It was a new day and all the girls were getting up and they didn't see Issei. They all went down to nothing and they didn't see anything yet. At that someone screamed in the kitchen and they all went. Griselda, what's wrong? Isabella, look. That's what he gives them a grade for. Seraphal, I'll see you later, girls. I hope you'll forgive me. Seraphal read the note that Issei left behind. There was a great silence until everyone shouted at the same time saying, "You will pay for this when you return." While Issei was calm arriving at his new destination. 18. Issei upon leaving the portal was in an alley noticing the buildings, changing his clothes to casual ones and leaving the alley, taking a path through the city. As he was walking he noticed that everything was very advanced. Then he took out a newspaper that was on the streets. Issei, year 2095. Interesting. He then asked a person who worked there where a library was. When he got there, he began to read everything about that world and was a little surprised that magic existed there. Issei, interesting, but this magic here is more scientific magic than pure magic. While he continued reading, after finishing his information, he left the library and went to a bank. Upon arriving, he handed over some gold coins, exchanging them for money from that world. Upon leaving, he looked for several places to stay until he found a 2-bedroom apartment with all the furniture. Issei, I hope the girls don't get upset. Well, what am I going to do here? From what I heard from some guys, an exam will soon be held at an academy. I should go try my luck. After finishing saying that, he got up from his seat and went to sleep since he did too many things in one day. Days passed, and Issei kept himself informed of how things were in that world. Then the entrance exam arrived. In order not to stand out so much, Issei pretended not to be weak, ending up in the last year. Another few days passed, and Issei was on his way to school. Issei, this uniform is a bit similar to the other one, only it is longer. Upon arriving at the academy, he noticed that no one was there except for a boy who was standing there at the entrance. At that point, Issei approached him. Issei, it's a good academy, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is the first school affiliated with the National Magic University. Issei, I see, it's of great prestige. You are also from course 2. Issei, yes. Pardon my manners, my name is Hayata Issei. Nice to meet you, my name is Shiba Tatsuya. Issei, I hope we get along. Stretching out his hand. Tatsuya, I say the same. Holding hands. Issei, how about we go to the ceremony? Tatsuya, yes. Issei, guide me since I have no idea where it is. Tatsuya just nods, and then they both start walking while talking, and then they heard two girls pass by and talk about them. Issei, wow, the second years aren't very well liked. Tatsuya, the second years are just reinforcements. Issei, I see, but I don't know how you ended up in the second year. Tatsuya, I couldn't get through. Issei, I know you hide your power, Tatsuya. Hearing Issei's words, he was surprised and put on a serious face. Issei, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I just came here to have a quiet life. Tatsuya, how do you know about me? Issei, I have a good eye for knowing when someone is strong. Tatsuya, you are too, but you hide it better than me. Issei, who knows? They both remained silent, and someone arrived. Guys should be at the entrance ceremony. Issei, sorry, we got lost. Both bowing, Tatsuya noticed his CD. Issei, you're from class 1, right? And you're our senpai. Nice to meet you, my name is Hayata Issei. And you see, my classmate and I were just looking around. I see my name is Sisa Mayumi. Issei was going to say something, but another girl came and took Mayumi away. Issei, well, Tatsuya, let's go. Tatsuya, I see you're not afraid to speak. Issei, not much. They both began to walk towards the auditorium, and when they arrived they sat on the last row of stairs on the second floor. Issei, that girl is your sister, isn't she? Tatsuya, how do you know? Issei, they have something similar. Then two girls arrive. Hello, are these seats taken? Tatsuya, go ahead. Both girls take doing. My name is Chiba Erika. My name is Shibata Mizuki. Tatsuya, nice to meet you, my name is Shiba Tatsuya. Issei, my name is Hayata Issei. Nice to meet you both. Erika, nice to meet you both. With that they started the ceremony. After a few minutes the four of them left, and went to find their class. Mizuki, today was just the ceremony and seeing some classes. Issei, I see. At that moment Tatsuya's sister arrives. Hello Onisama, I see you made friends. Tatsuya, something like that, let me introduce them to you, they are Erika and Mizuki and he is Issei. Nice to meet you, my name is Shiba Miyuki. The others just nodded. They talked for a few minutes until Mayumi arrived. Mayumi, we meet again. Issei, I say the same. Mayumi, I see you're having a good time, Miyuki-san, we can talk another time. Miyuki, yes, thank you. Mayumi, I hope we can talk another time, both of us. Issei and Tatsuya just nodded. Mayumi left, but a boy looked at them both with a bad face. Issei, is it just me or does that guy not like us? Tatsuya, it would be you perhaps. Issei didn't say anything and everyone went to their classes. At the exit Issei was on his way to his apartment with the two brothers. Tatsuya, Issei, do you want to come over to the house for some coffee or tea? Issei, sounds good. But because of the invitation, we barely know each other. Tatsuya, we must resume this morning's conversation. Miyuki, what conversation, Oni-sama? Tatsuya, you'll know when you get there. Okay. Issei, it's okay, I have nothing to do. Then the three of them walked for a few minutes until they reached their destination. After that, the three of them were sitting on a sofa. Issei, if you both look at me with that serious face, you'll scare me. I also know the reason why you invited me. While taking a sip of coffee. Tatsuya, and that serious one. With a serious face. Issei, you want to kill me, right? Miyuki was surprised when she heard that. Tatsuya, and yet you came. And how did you know? Issei, since we talked in the morning you've been releasing a murderous aura, and well, I came because I wanted us to fix that issue. Tatsuya, you know my secret, and I don't think that's it. Miyuki was surprised by the conversation, but when she heard the last thing she became serious and guarded. Issei, Tatsuya, as I said when we met, I just want a normal life. Besides, I won't do anything to you, I just want us to be friends. Tatsuya, and how can I trust you? Issei, you don't ask whatever you want. Tatsuya, because you hide your power too. Issei, so I don't stand out like you. Let's be friends, and when you need help, let me know. Especially with your family. Both brothers were surprised upon hearing the last thing and stood up. Miyuki, how do you know about our family? Issei, when I shook hands with Tatsuya I could see his life. And well, that happened. I hope you forgive me. I was a little curious, and you had a bad past. The two brothers didn't know what to say. Since Issei already knew everything about them, they sat down. Tatsuya, I see you know a lot about us. Issei, it was the truth without meaning to. And tell me you can trust me. Tatsuya, I see that you are sincere. I will give you my vote of confidence. Putting on a smile just like Issei. Miyuki, if my Oni-sama trusts you, I will do it too. Issei, thank you. You know, when you need it, tell me. Miyuki, you're the first person who knows about us. Issei, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Besides, I have no one to tell, I don't have that many friends, so to speak. Tatsuya, as far as I can see, you don't use any CAD or anything. Issei, well, I've never needed it. I'll try not to use my magic. Tatsuya, I see. I hope to see her someday. Issei, maybe? Miyuki, Issei, do you want to stay for dinner? Issei, thank you for the offer, I will gladly accept it. Miyuki, you should call your family to let them know. Issei, I don't have a family, I live alone. Miyuki, I see, sorry. Tatsuya, since you know so much about us, tell me, do you want to live here? Issei, you shouldn't talk to your sister first. Miyuki, it would be nice to have more company at home. Plus, I can see that you're a good person. Issei, if that's the case, then I accept your offer, thank you very much. At that, Miyuki gets up and goes to the kitchen while Issei and Tatsuya were talking about anything. 19. It was a new day and Issei and his brothers were having breakfast. Issei, Miyuki, the food is very good, thank you. Miyuki, thank you for the compliment. Oni-sama, we'll have to leave soon. Tell me, Issei, will you accompany us? Issei, sure, but where? Miyuki, my Oni-sama is Kokono-sensei's pupil. Issei, I see, it's a hand-to-hand fighting style. Tatsuya, that's right. You're interested. Issei, I'm not going at all. After finishing, the three of them headed to the place. When they arrived, Tatsuya and his master began to fight while Issei chatted with Miyuki. Issei, it's good but it lacks. Miyuki, how do you know? Issei, it's because of experience, but I don't like to fight very much hand to hand. Miyuki, I see. Issei, from what I saw yesterday, the second years aren't treated very well. Miyuki, I know and that bothers me, Honestly, I wasn't in favor of the course they gave my Oni-sama. Issei, I know, but you know it's better this way. The less you show your power, the less problems you cause. That's what you want to avoid. Miyuki, I see you're right. He's fought for years for me to be okay. Issei, I could tell he loves you very much. Miyuki just smiled at those words. After finishing the fight, the three of them headed to the academy. Upon arriving, the two boys said goodbye to Miyuki and they both went to their classroom. Upon entering, they greeted the two girls from the previous day and a boy joined them. Leo, hello everyone. The others returned his greeting and then the classes began. When the whole group finished, they went to lunch. Leo, I see you two get along well. And you only started school yesterday. Issei, well, yesterday we had a great talk and we had some things in common. Now he's like my brother, isn't he like that? Tatsuya, yes. She said this with a half smile since Issei liked her a lot. That's when Miyuki arrives. Miyuki, guys, can I have lunch with you? Erika, sure, come on. Leo, who is she? Tatsuya, she's my younger sister Shiba Miyuki. She was going to answer, but then a group of boys from the first year arrived and wanted to make a scandal, but then Tatsuya left the place. Issei followed him too to avoid problems. At the start, their friends were competing against those from year 1. Issei, wow, how did we get to this? Tatsuya, I have no idea. Miyuki, I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. Issei, don't worry, this will be resolved soon. A few minutes passed and they were still arguing. They were about to fight, but the student council and the disciplinary committee arrived. Tatsuya had to explain everything and in the end everyone was able to leave the place. Already on the road. Issei, so many things for just one day, ha ha ha. Miyuki, Issei, don't say that. Issei, sorry. Erika, you too, Miyuki, get along well with Issei. Miyuki, well, it has some interesting stories to tell. They continued talking until each one went their separate ways. When the three of them arrived home, they talked a little and then had dinner, and each went to their room. The next day, the three of them were walking until someone spoke to them. Mayumi, good morning, guys. I see you've become very good friends. Issei, I like you. And how are you? Mayumi, fine, thank you. Miyuki-san, you can come during lunchtime. I have something to tell you. Of course, you're also invited. Tatsuya, we'll be there. They continued on their way. At lunchtime, the three of them went to the student council. Once inside, everyone ate in silence until they finished. Mayumi, well, let me introduce you, she is Ichihara Zusun. Ichihara, nice to meet you. Mayumi, this is Nakaju Azusa. Everyone calls her Achan. Azusa, Kaicho, don't talk to me like that in front of the others. Mayumi, and she is from the disciplinary council, it is Watanabe Mari. Tatsuya, nice to meet you all. Issei, I say the same, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Mayumi, the vice president is not here at the moment. Well, let's get to the point. Miyuki-san, I want you to join the student council. There was silence until she spoke. Miyuki, Kaicho, my brother is better for that position, you can reconsider. Tatsuya was surprised to hear that, but Mayumi spoke and that wouldn't be possible since he is a second year, but Watanabe recruited him for his committee. At that the three left the place and Issei let out a light laugh. Miyuki, something's wrong. Issei, I think you'll have to stand out in the end, Tatsuya, if you join that committee. What will you do? Tatsuya, obviously not. When we get back, I'll decline your proposal. Issei, I see. At that everyone returned to their classes. Already at the exit everyone went to their homes except 3 people who were going to the student council. Issei went to see what was going to happen. Then they entered the room and felt a great silence. Tatsuya, I am Shiba Tatsuya. Miyuki, Shiba Miyuki. Issei, hi to Issei, it's nice to be here again. At that everyone saw them and the vice president arrived and only greeted Miyuki. She got a little angry because she looked down on her brother and friend. Watanabe, Well, Shiba-san, how about we go about our business? They were about to leave, but then Vice President Hattori stopped them. Hattori, Watanabe-senpai, I'm against the first year we joining the disciplinary committee. Watanabe, you have the nerve to say that to my face. You know I don't like second years being called that. Hattori, it's normal to say those words so he can't help it. At that point a discussion started as Miyuki wanted to help her brother by making her angry. She was about to say more but Tatsuya stopped her and spoke. Tatsuya, it's not that I want to join that place. But I will prove that my sister wasn't wrong, so have a duel with me. There was silence until Hattori spoke and accepted the duel and looked at Issei with a half smile. Hattori, do you want to fight too? Issei, I'm not interested in fighting at all. Hattori, better this way. So you know your place. Issei, it's not because of that. I'm doing this because if I fight you, you could end up dead. Those present were surprised to hear that, but Hattori only got angrier. Hattori, you think you're such a big deal. Issei, not at all. I fight to kill, not to play, so it's better to just fight Tatsuya. He'll challenge you, not me. Nobody knew what to answer, but they agreed that the duel would be in the third ring in about 10 minutes. Miyuki, Onisama, you always get into trouble because of me. Tatsuya, leave it like that, it's not your fault. Issei, he's right, don't worry. Miyuki, Issei, you were telling the truth when you said those words. Issei, I only fight to kill. Well, that happens from time to time, there are times when I just leave them very injured. Tatsuya, what kind of power do you have? Issei, a normal one I'd say. Tatsuya, we can have one more meeting later. Issei, when you finish with the vice presidents I'll do it, is that okay with you? Tatsuya just nodded and minutes later everyone was ready. That's when the game starts. The rest goes like history, with Tatsuya winning and giving an explanation of how he did it. At that moment everyone was leaving but Mayumi and Watanabe saw that the other three stayed. Mayumi, why don't we go since everything is settled? Tatsuya, we'll go later. First I have a fight with Issei. Watanabe, you're in favor of this, Hayadu? Issei, yes, since he wanted it. You can go, they will leave in a few moments. Mayumi, we'll be staying, it sounds exciting to see. Issei, fine, but what you see here you must not tell anyone, okay? The two didn't understand and Miyuki just told them to accept. They both promised and the two boys got into an attack position. 20. They were both getting ready. Miyuki, go ahead. As Tatsuya started, he launched an attack with his weapon. Issei was just standing there when he was about to arrive, destroying him with his eye. Leaving some surprise since he did it without doing anything. In that Tatsuya runs towards him, and in that they start a fight with fists. Mayumi, what kind of skills does he have? Miyuki, I really don't know. He doesn't like to talk about it because it's not necessary, and he doesn't like to fight. Watanabe, they trust him. Miyuki, yes. Watanabe, because. Miyuki, we talk about a lot of things, he is always sincere so I can trust him just like Onisama. While in the fight Issei was defending himself from some blows, he summoned a staff and hit Tatsuya. Issei, come on Tatsuya, I know you can give more. With a smile. Tatsuya gets up from the ground wiping off some of his blood and goes on the attack again. When Issei arrives, he is only greeted with several blows. Falling to the ground again he gets up. Tatsuya, I give in to your desire. Issei just walks up to him, and shakes his hand and helps him up. Issei, I know you haven't given it your all yet. But I'm satisfied. Tatsuya, I know you don't give your all either. If you were serious about fighting, you would have already beaten me. Issei just put on a smile as three girls approached them. Miyuki, it doesn't hurt at all, Onisama. Tatsuya, I'm fine Miyuki, don't worry. Miyuki, Issei, you showed no mercy to Onisama with those last two attacks. Issei, but in the end he resisted, right? Well, how about we leave too, it's late. Mayumi, Issei, can I ask you a question? Issei, Go ahead. Mayumi, how did you make Tatsuya-san's first attack disappear? Issei, I just destroyed it with my eye. Then he approaches her and activates his eye. Mayumi was surprised when she saw him. Issei, I see you're not scared. Mayumi, well, it's cute, actually. Issei, yours too. Well, everything about you is. Walking away from her, leaving her all red. The others didn't say anything. Issei, well, see you later, you two have things to do. Watanabe, hey, tell me, don't you want to join the disciplinary committee? Issei, I'm fine like this. I wish you both luck. Leaving the place. Mayumi, it's kind of carefree, isn't it? Miyuki, she doesn't like to do much of anything. Mayumi, well, how about we go? That was a lot of things for just one day. The others just nodded and left the place. A few hours passed, and the two brothers were arriving at the house, and they smelled a pleasant smell and went to the kitchen. Issei, I see you've arrived. Go get changed, I'll be done soon. They both just nodded and left. When they came back, all the food was on the table. Issei, I hope you enjoy it. The three of them started eating, surprising the brothers with how good it was. Miyuki, Issei, this is very good. Issei, I'm flattered you said that. Miyuki, show me the recipe later. Issei, sure. And how did your two new jobs go? Miyuki, well, I had a lot to do. Tatsuya, I had to clean the classroom, it was a bit dirty and messy. I'll show up with the rest tomorrow. Issei, they'll be busy from now on. Tatsuya was going to answer, but then someone calls him, and they go to see, and it's his aunt. Tatsuya, stay in the kitchen since they can't see you. Issei, don't worry. With that, he snaps his fingers and turns invisible. Tatsuya, good evening. Miyuki, good night, aunt. Maya, good night, guys. Miyuki, what's the point of calling so late? Maya, I wanted to know how things are going at the academy. Miyuki, we're doing well, thanks to your concern, aunt. Maya, I see, I'm glad. Holding her smile. While Issei just watched. Issei, wow, she's the leader. She's cute. Maya, well, I was just calling to find out. Have a good night. The two brothers just bowed and the call ended. Issei, wow, I see you don't want her. Miyuki, she has always been like that. On the outside she has that smile, but on the inside she is very serious. Issei, I understand, well, let's finish dinner. Since tomorrow awaits you all a long day. The brothers agreed and returned to the dining room. The next day Tatsuya introduced himself to his new classmates, while Issei was walking around the academy since they had free time because everyone could choose a club. Issei didn't want to enter any of them, so he stayed away. He saw how Erika was wanted in several clubs and how Tatsuya saved her. At that, Issei began to walk towards them. Issei, they really want you in their clubs, Erika. Erika, you were watching and you did nothing. Issei, well, I saw Tatsuya was going, so I didn't bother him. Erika, well, how about we go check out the other clubs since there's nothing to do? Tatsuya, I'm on patrol. Erika, it will only be a few minutes. Tatsuya finally accepted Issei because he had nothing to do. They walked and arrived where they were practicing with the sword. The rest happened the same as the story. Issei just watched without doing anything since he couldn't. The day passed and everyone returned home except for a group that went to a restaurant to have dinner. The next day it was lunchtime and everyone was in the student council. Issei, it's not that I mind being here, but what am I doing here? Mayumi, the more people the better, don't you think? Issei, maybe, but well, thanks for the invitation. Mayumi just gave him a smile. They had the same conversation about that. Issei, boy, they're dangerous. You know. Tatsuya, yes, I know. Watanabe, don't get into trouble, this is serious, okay. Miyuki, we'll try. Watanabe, I'm not convinced by that. Issei, relax, nothing will happen, I think. Mayumi, you saying that worries me more. Issei, you worry about me. I'll be fine, don't worry. Giving her a smile, Mayumi just put her hands on her face as she was embarrassed. Watanabe, it's the first time I've seen her this embarrassed since she's always serious or happy. Issei, seriously, this is new, thanks for the info. Mayumi, Mari, don't say that. Issei, because. Mayumi saw how everyone was looking at her, which only made her more embarrassed and leave the room. Nakaju, that's new to see. Issei, I'll go see that he's okay. Getting up from his seat and heading for the exit, leaving the rest behind. Issei walked through the halls searching for his aura. After a few minutes he left the academy and arrived at a garden. Issei, so here you were. When she heard that voice, she was scared because Issei was behind her. Mayumi, how did you find me so quickly? Issei, I'd say good luck and tell me why you ran away like that. Mayumi, it's just that everyone was looking at me and I was embarrassed. Issei, but you're the student council president, you should be used to that. Mayumi, I am, but when you see me I feel embarrassed, I don't know why. Issei, I see, so that you don't feel that way, I won't see you anymore. Mayumi, I don't wish for that either. Issei, then? Mayumi, just give me time, okay? But don't make so many jokes, okay? Issei, but these are not jokes. Mayumi, just don't say it around people. Issei, and when we're alone? Mayumi, I don't know. Issei, I understand. How about we go back, classes will already start. Mayumi just nodded and then they both headed to the academy. 21. A few days had passed and some of the second-year students wanted more respect, among other things, because it was unfair. Meanwhile, 3 people were walking towards the academy. They saw Mayumi in the distance. Issei approached her and touched her shoulder. Issei, hello Kaicho, how are you? Mayumi, fine, thank you. At that point the 2 brothers approached. Miyuki, Kaicho, you'll be fine alone in today's debate. Mayumi, don't worry Miyuki-san, I must settle this matter quickly. Issei, I'll be supporting you from the front row. Mayumi, you better be backstage and cause some harm. Issei, fine since you asked me. Mayumi, thank you. Giving him a smile. Upon arriving at the academy, everyone went to their classroom. A few hours passed and everyone was gathering in the auditorium for the lecture. First they started a few seconds and then the president gave a great speech. Issei, wow, she sure knows how to convince people. Ichihara, she has this gift for convincing people. A few minutes passed and everything was about to end when several explosions sounded outside the place, and some boys tried to attack Mayumi. Issei quickly came out and saved her. Issei, you're okay. Mayumi, yes, thank you very much for saving me. At that they both get up from the ground and Issei had a serious face. Tatsuya, Issei, you're coming. Issei, sure, let's go. Mayumi, where are you going? Issei, I have to help Tatsuya, don't worry, I'll be back. Mayumi, it's okay, I trust you. Issei gives him a smile and with that Issei leaves with the 2 brothers. Leaving the group in the auditorium. Watanabe, this is the first time I've seen you worried about someone. He said it in a low voice since there were more people. Mayumi, I don't even know why. Leaving the place. Meanwhile the group met the others and helped them. The rest is like the story, only this time Issei helped by knocking out most of them. After a few hours the attack was over and some were in the infirmary watching Mibu. Issei was sitting apart when Mayumi approached him. Mayumi, you're okay, nothing happened to you. Issei, yes, I'm fine, thanks for the concern, and you? Mayumi, I'm fine, and tell me what you're doing here. Issei, well, they have things to talk about and I don't feel like listening to that. Mayumi, I see. Issei, besides, I'll soon go with Tatsuya to look for the rest. Mayumi, that's dangerous, they are strong, I don't think you can do it. Issei, we'll be fine Mayumi. Mayumi, this is the first time you've called me by my name. Issei, you don't like it? Mayumi, I didn't say that. But why? Issei, we are alone so we can talk calmly, you said it before? Mayumi, you are very quick to take advantage of the situation. Issei, it could be. But I like talking to you. Mayumi, I can't deny it, it feels good to talk to you. Issei, I'm glad, but for a while now someone has been killing me with their gaze. Mayumi, who? Issei, Vice President Hattori. I see he's not very happy that I'm talking to you. Maybe he likes you. At that she turns around and he looks away. Issei, maybe I should stop talking to you because maybe one of them will end up attacking me. Mayumi, if you walk away, I will never forgive you. Issei, you sound like an annoying girlfriend. Mayumi blushed upon hearing that at what she heard. Issei, I still had no intention of leaving you behind, so don't worry. I like being by your side. Mayumi, well, I like it that way. Issei just gave her a half smile. They noticed that they were almost done. They both approached. Issei, and we will do well. Tatsuya, we'll go stop that group because they'll be coming to our neighborhood later. Issei, I see when we leave. Tatsuya, in a few minutes. Issei, good. At that everyone left the room and took different paths to prepare. Issei walked through the hallways as Tatsuya went for his weapon and Miyuki accompanied him. At that moment someone grabs his arm. Issei, something's wrong, Mayumi. Mayumi, I don't want you to go like everyone else. Issei, you know we'll be fine. Mayumi, I know. I'd like to go with you, but as you heard before, I can't. I have to calm the students down. Issei, you're the one for it. We'll be back soon. How about we go out tomorrow since it's the weekend? Mayumi, like an ACC. Issei, like a date. Mayumi was super red. Issei, but if you don't want to, I understand. Mayumi, okay, I'll go. Issei, I like hearing those words. Mayumi, don't you have any shame in speaking so calmly? Issei, yes, how can I not be nervous when I talk to a cute girl like you? Mayumi, you better go get ready. I wish you luck. Giving him a kiss on the cheek and leaving quickly since she didn't want Issei to turn her face red. Issei just put on a smile, he liked it when a girl acted so shy. With that he continued on his way. Minutes later he joined the rest. Issei, you guys will go too, Leo and Erika. Erika, there wasn't much to do around here. Issei, you do like problems, don't you? Erika, maybe, but you look for them too. Issei, I'm just helping some friends. But anyway, let's go. Then everyone gets into the car, the same group as in the anime. Upon arriving, they separated into groups. The two brothers and Issei went in one. As they crossed the door, there were many soldiers waiting for them. Issei felt all their presence since they were in the car, but he didn't say anything. Tsukasa, I see you've come. I'm glad you're here, especially Shiba Tatsuya. I'm interested in knowing how you work your magic, so I want you to join my group. Activating her spell and thinking that she had already hypnotized him. Tatsuya, that's all. Except for some parts, it's just lights. Miyuki, so he was controlling Mibu-senpai. Tatsuya, that's right. The frightened man left the place, leaving the group. Tatsuya just started walking and then someone tried to attack him from behind, but Miyuki froze him. Issei, wow, you have no mercy. Miyuki, no one comes close to my Oni-sama. Issei, come on, don't get mad because you're a little scary. Miyuki changes her face and relaxes. Issei, better. Miyuki, yes, thank you very much. Issei, tell me, do you do it or do I do it? Miyuki, you do it, but you can't kill him, okay? Issei, okay, I have an idea. At that he takes a few steps forward. Issei, well, you can come attack, I'll just stand here doing nothing. The soldiers became angry and Miyuki did not understand what he wanted to do. At that point the soldiers went to attack him. But when they took a step they all bled and fell to the ground. Miyuki was surprised when she saw that since she didn't use anything in that. Issei returns to her. Issei, they are still alive, they are just hurting. Miyuki, how did you do that? Issei, Enhance my heartbeats just that. Miyuki, it was really cool actually. Issei, thank you. And tell me what we do now. Miyuki, just wait as Onisama will take care of the rest. Issei, well then let's go, soon people will come to take them. Miyuki just nods and then they both leave the place. The rest went like the story. Tatsuya without much difficulty defeated the rest. 22. It was all over now and everyone was returning home. Miyuki, I'll go make dinner. Wait a few minutes. Both boys just nodded. Issei went to his room and called Mayumi. Mayumi, how did it go? Issei, very well, there were no problems. Mayumi, I'm glad. Issei, I was calling to tell you where you want to meet and when. Mayumi, I'm near the academy and 10 is fine with you. Issei, sounds good, and tell me you want to go to a specific place. Mayumi, you're the one who invited. Do you have no idea? Issei, I have a few places in mind. I was just asking. Mayumi, I'll be looking forward to seeing those places. Issei, well, rest, see you tomorrow. Thus hanging up the call. Mayumi, what should I wear? Getting up from his bed and going to his closet, since it would be his first time going on a date. While Issei was with the other two having dinner. Issei, and what will they do tomorrow? Tatsuya, I'll go see Mibu-senpai to see how she is. Miyuki, I'll accompany him, and you Issei. Issei, I'll go out that way. At that time the night passed, and it was already a new day. Issei left home heading to the place where they were going to meet Mayumi. When I arrived I waited for a few minutes until she arrived. Issei, you look cute. Mayumi, thank you. Just remove the microphone. She said it blushing because she made an effort to be like that. Mayumi, and tell me where we're going. Issei, let's go. At that Issei takes her by the hand and she doesn't say anything. Taking the path, after a few minutes they arrive at a park. Issei, it's a beautiful day. How about we stay here for a while? Mayumi, it's okay. And that Issei takes her to some swings. Issei, get up. Mayumi, and what will you do? Issei, I'll push you, I have the feeling that you've never been on one. Mayumi, well, I've never had the time for this since I belong to one of the 10 master classes. Issei, leave that aside right now, you're just a normal girl on a date. She didn't say anything and sat on the swing, and Issei started pushing her, making her smile. Hours passed and they went to several places that were unique to her since she didn't have time. At the end of the day they went to a hill to watch the sunset. Issei, and how was it? Mayumi, very fun, thank you for this day. Issei, I'm glad you had fun. Whenever you want. Mayumi, I'll keep that offer in mind. You know, it will soon be competition with the other academies. Issei, I heard something. You're going to go, right? Mayumi, yes, this will be my last competition. Issei, have fun. Mayumi, you should know that this is something serious, right? Issei, a little bit, but it's good to have fun every now and then. And don't worry, I'll be supporting you from the front row. Mayumi, how will you go and where will you stay? Issei, don't worry about it. I'll see how to solve it. Mayumi, since the day I met you, you have been a very mysterious but at the same time kind person. Issei, I feel flattered. Mayumi, I had fun with you. I've never done it like I said before. Issei, I'll try to always see you this happy. Mayumi, don't try so hard. Issei, I have nothing to lose by doing so. Mayumi, the truth is I would like to be with you forever but my position does not allow me. Issei, just leave that aside. I'll take care of everything. Mayumi, you don't like problems. Issei, if it's for your happiness I'll have them. Mayumi, I don't want you to mention them. Issei, just trust me. I want you to be happy. While giving her a hug, Mayumi only reciprocated with a smile. Mayumi, I hope you take responsibility for saying those words. Issei, I never back down. Mayumi, I like it that way. At that, Mayumi stands on her tiptoes since Issei was taller than her, and she gives him a kiss that Issei reciprocates. Mayumi, that was my first kiss. Now you will never leave me. Issei, I'll take responsibility knowing that. Mayumi just gave him a big smile. Mayumi, for now it's our secret, you know, right? Issei, of course, don't worry. Well, it's late, how about we go now? She just nodded and they set off. Issei took her as far as he could. He then headed for the house and arrived a few minutes later. Tatsuya, and how did your walk go? Issei, I'm not complaining, it was quiet. Miyuki, tell us what happened. We're friends, right? Issei, yes we are. Well, I had a date with Mayumi. The two brothers were surprised when they heard that. Issei, besides, she's my partner. Both of them had their eyes wide open upon hearing such news. Tatsuya, I didn't expect it to be that true. Issei, please don't tell anyone you know your position. Miyuki, don't worry and thank you for telling us. Issei, they're my friends, right? I trust you. Well, how about we go out to dinner to celebrate? They both just nodded and left the house. While Mayumi arrived home and went straight to her room, several people spoke to her but she ignored them. When he arrived, he closed the door and locked it. He went to his bed and put his face in the pillow and screamed a few times. At the end, he was asked to see a big smile. Mayumi, this has been the best day of my life. I will never forget it. Minutes passed and finally she fell asleep from joy. The next day everyone was at the academy. It was lunchtime and some were in the student council. Mayumi, well, the competitors are already there but the problem is the engineers. Watanabe, that's the hardest part. Mayumi, tell me, Ichihara, do you want to be one? Ichihara, that would be impossible. I didn't want to ruin things. At that they fell silent. Tatsuya was about to leave but someone spoke. Nakaju, and what about Shiba-san since he is the one who helps Mayuki? Mayumi, it's true. Tatsuya didn't want to say anything. They had the same conversation until he finally agreed. Issei, I see you very concentrated, Nakaju-senpai, what are you doing? Nakaju, it is a duty to know the mysteries, to know the magic of flight. Issei, flight magic. Isn't it possible? Watanabe, of course not. Are you not informed? Issei, not at all, there are things that I don't take into account. Mayumi, well, several have tried but they always end in failure. Issei, Tatsuya, what do you think? Tatsuya, in several tests they had several failures from the beginning. Issei, well, I'll go to class. I wish you luck, Tatsuya, in your meeting. I hope you are accepted. Thus leaving the place. As she left the room, Mayumi received a message. When she read it, she smiled more because it said, "You look prettier when you smile." Watanabe, something's wrong. Mayumi, nothing important. Well, we have to be ready because soon we will have to convince the rest and it will not be easy. The rest happened the same. Tatsuya was given a test that he eventually passed. It was already night and Tatsuya was in his laboratory until Issei enters. Issei, this is my first time coming here. It's spacious. This is where you do all your experiments. Tatsuya, that's right. It's a private place, not just anyone can invade it. Issei, I see from what I see you want a perfect flight magic, right? Tatsuya, that's right. Aren't you interested? Issei, not at all. Since he can already fly using his wings or just normal magic. Issei, I will help you but the truth is I am not someone of science. Tatsuya, then how do you do your magic since it requires a bit of it? Issei, my magic is pure like Miyuki's. At that, Issei creates a fireball without needing anything. Surprising Tatsuya a little. Issei, besides, I don't need something to fly since I can already do it. Tatsuya, what? Issei began to float without needing anything. Issei, I just do. The magic you guys use is scientific and mine isn't. But that doesn't mean it's weak, on the contrary, yours is stronger. You would be a very difficult opponent for many. Tatsuya, I see, then help me a little to trust this. Issei just nodded and helped him with what he could. In the end they managed to create the flight device. Both of them were satisfied with the result, and Miyuki also arrived and congratulated them on their achievement, and used it too. So spending the night. 23. It was a new day and everyone was in the auditorium watching the team that would participate in the battle against the other academies. After finishing, everyone went about their business. Tatsuya went to see his team with his sister. Issei was up in a tree resting since they had the rest of the day free, and he stayed to wait for the other two. Mayumi, you look pretty relaxed up there, don't you? Issei, the weather is very nice today. Why don't you come up? Mayumi activated a spell and went up, being close to Issei. Issei, I thought you'd be busy preparing everything. Mayumi, yes, but I already did my part, the others take care of the rest now. Issei, I see. During that trip we won't be able to see each other very often. Mayumi, no, since I'll be staying in a hotel that's reserved only for the competitors and you. Issei, even if you don't believe it, I'll stay there too. Mayumi, how did you get it? Issei, it was Erika who achieved it thanks to her influences. Mayumi, I see. Issei, we'll leave earlier so we'll see each other around maybe. Mayumi, don't go causing trouble, I kind of know you. Issei, I'll see, but I don't promise anything. Mayumi, it's okay. She just hugged him, leaving them both silent. Issei, I have something important to tell you, Mayumi. Since you are with me, I don't want you to keep any secrets. Mayumi, and that would be it. In that, Issei puts his forehead with Mayumi, and she could see Issei's entire life. How he was before, how he was in the other dimension, and how he returned to his own, and how many partners he has. Knowing all that, he remained silent for a few seconds until Issei spoke. Issei, I didn't want to lie to you, you know. The truth is that I like you like the others. But if this bothers you. He didn't finish as Mayumi put a finger in his mouth. Mayumi, to be honest, this was a surprise to me. But I saw that you love them all equally. And you treat me well too, so I'm not upset. Issei, I'm glad you take it well. Mayumi, but what are you doing in this dimension? Issei, well, I came to find some companions but also to explore. It's good to see new places. Mayumi, I see, that's why you told me you weren't going to get into trouble. Issei, that's right. Mayumi, and when will you leave again? Issei, I don't know, I'm not in a hurry. I kinda like this place, all things considered. Mayumi, you should know that I will also go with you. Issei, and what will happen to your family? Mayumi, they'll be fine, so there's no problem. Issei, okay. But before we go, I want you to finish your school life with your friends. Mayumi, thanks for that. Issei, you're welcome. Mayumi, well, now that I have you all to myself, I will enjoy it, since when we get back you have to do several things with the others, right? Issei, it's all or nothing, so don't worry. Besides, you'll get along with the others. Mayumi, I can ask you a favor. Issei, go ahead. Mayumi, you can take me for a little fly. Issei just gives her a smile. She activates an invisibility spell and Issei does another spell to make her fly. After a few seconds the two were flying high up. Issei, and how does it feel? Mayumi, I won't lie, this is all beautiful. Issei, I'm glad you like it. Mayumi, tell me, Issei, why are you going to the competition? I don't think it's just to watch. Issei, well, I have a feeling something will happen there. So I have to protect you just like my friends. Mayumi approached Issei and gave him a kiss on the cheek. Mayumi, I'll be in your care that day. Issei, you just have some fun that day and I'll take care of the rest. But you must also make time for me. Mayumi, I'll try. Issei, okay. They were flying for a few minutes until they returned to the same place. Mayumi, I hope we do it again later. Issei, whenever you want. The competition starts in 2 days. I'll leave tomorrow with the rest. Mayumi, I understand, I'll find a way for us to talk. Issei just nods, gives her a kiss, and then leaves the place in search of the others, and she went to her own thing. The next day Issei said goodbye to the two brothers and left for the competition venue with the other boys. The day where the contestants left, and Mayumi arrived with a dress. Ichihara, why those clothes? Mayumi, I like it, plus it's a little warm. Ichihara didn't say anything, but the bus started and they went to their competition venue. On the way, Mayumi was sending a message to Issei saying that she would arrive soon. Ichihara, since when do you use that cell phone so much? Mayumi, I'm just looking for some important things, don't worry. After that, the accident happened just like in the story. A few hours after the trip, the students arrived at their destination. Issei, boy, did they take a while. Miyuki, some things happened that caused us to fall behind. Tatsuya, we'll talk later, I have things to do with the senpais. They both said goodbye to him. Miyuki, and what time will you go to see Kaicho? Issei, after that meeting. Miyuki, I see, since he's been with you, he's always happy. Issei, it's my job to do it, right? Just like Tatsuya with you. Miyuki just turned red upon hearing that but didn't say anything. At that moment, the other two girls arrived. Already at night everyone was at the meeting and Issei approaches Mayumi from behind. Issei, would you like a drink, miss? At that she turned around and was surprised to see who it was. Mayumi, how did you manage to get into this place? Issei, I have my tricks and you want something to drink. Giving him a drink. Mayumi, thank you. You look good in your suit. Issei, I appreciate it. Mayumi, wow, how elegant. Issei, just because he acts carefree doesn't mean he is and you know it's not. Mayumi, I know. You want to go for a walk in the garden at night. Issei, see you there. Saying that, he left the place. To where Tatsuya was. Issei, because so alone. Tatsuya, I don't really like this stuff. I didn't know you were going to be a waiter either. Issei, it was Erika's idea. That's when she arrives. Erika, Issei, you should take care of the others. Issei, I already did it, I already did a lot for tonight. Erika, you are very lazy. Issei, I don't like these things very much but well, I'll finish here. See you later, I'll go to rest. Leaving the place. Hours passed and Issei was in the garden when someone covered his eyes out of nowhere. Issei, it's not that easy for you to surprise me, Mayumi. Mayumi, you're no fun, you know. Making a pout. Issei, you look cute making that face. Mayumi, don't change things. Let's go for a walk instead. Taking Issei's hand and walking in place. Issei, you're not as shy as before. Mayumi, well, being with you I had to put that aside but sometimes it still happens to me. Issei, I see. So tomorrow you will be the first to start the tournament. Mayumi, yep. It's something easy to do. Issei, I know. Plus you're very popular. I can already imagine how packed the place must be. Mayumi, I hope to see you in the front row like you said. Issei, I'll be there, don't worry. She just smiled at him, and they continued walking until Issei felt the presence of 5 people, 3 strangers and 2 acquaintances. In that Mayumi takes and they hide, she without understanding was going to say something but she saw the others pass by. After a few minutes they left the place since they had resolved it. Mayumi, we should have helped too, you know. Issei, they could. You should go rest too, it's late. Mayumi, okay, see you tomorrow. Giving him a kiss and leaving the place. Issei walked for a few minutes and ran into Tatsuya. Issei, who are they? Tatsuya, I don't know much. When they find out they'll tell me and tell me what you were doing here. Issei, I was walking with Mayumi and I saw them passing by. Tatsuya, I see, well let's go, it's late. Issei just nodded and they both returned to the hotel. So he can support his friends in the competition. 24. Everyone was gathered at the stadium waiting for Mayumi's first meeting. Miyuki, from the front row. How did you do it, Issei? It's the first to fill up. Issei, I have my methods, don't worry. Tatsuya, who knows what you did to get it? Issei just let out a light laugh. While Mayumi was preparing herself, she turns around and looks at the audience and sees Issei. She just smiles and waves at him. Many students waved thinking it was for them. Issei just gave her a smile. Miyuki, he has several fans, right? Issei, she's cute and smart and kind, how could she not be popular? Miyuki, I'm surprised to hear that he's dating you. I told him this close to his ear since his friends were there. Issei, it would be fate, I would say. Miyuki, yeah, sure. One of these days, invite her over. Issei, of course, after these competitions I will tell him. Miyuki just nodded as the fight would begin. The fight was about being a sniper and destroying some discs. Mayumi didn't have much difficulty and won quickly. When she did so, the entire audience screamed with excitement, and she just gave them a smile. The competitions continued and the group also went to see Watanabe's match, where she also ended up as champion. Then night came and the girls were celebrating in Mayumi's room. Watanabe, we started day no very well. Mayumi, that's right, and the boys did well too. Ichihara, so far the results are good, we'll see what happens tomorrow. In Tatsuya's room was Issei and Miyuki. Issei, so it was the Asian Union. Tatsuya, that's right. We don't know what they have planned for this competition. Issei, I'll be on the lookout in case something happens. Miyuki, they think they want to stop the competition. Tatsuya, it might be possible, but we don't know what they would gain from it. Issei, we just have to wait for them to make their moves. Nothing bad has happened so far. Miyuki, that's better. Issei, well, it's late, I'll go to rest, see you tomorrow. Then he leaves the room and starts walking to his own. When he arrives, he lies down and falls asleep. The competition began the next morning. Tatsuya was being Mayumi's engineer. Tatsuya, you're motivated. Mayumi, well, I like this game. Tatsuya, I see. Issei will be supporting you from the front row. Mayumi, I know, he promised me. Tatsuya, you have a very considerate partner. Upon hearing that, she stopped stretching and looked at him. Tatsuya, Issei told us that a long time ago. I thought you knew. Mayumi, I think I forgot. Who else knows? Tatsuya, just Miyuki, don't worry, we won't tell anyone. Besides, you look happy. Mayumi, I thought you would say something, you know I'm part of one of the 10 clans. Tatsuya, if you're with Issei, there shouldn't be a problem with it. Mayumi, they're great friends, aren't they? Tatsuya, yes. I know I can trust him. Mayumi, I'm glad about that. Tatsuya, well, everything is ready. I wish you luck. Giving him the gun and leaving the place. Mayumi, there are things to talk about later, Issei. Going to the place to start. That's where they start, and she didn't have much of a problem with the competition and ended up as the winner of the tournament. Everyone was happy about their victory. After the competition, some went to watch the competition of other participants. Issei went to see Mayumi. When he arrived, he knocked on the door and was let in. Issei, you did well. I saw that he didn't put up a fight. Mayumi, well, what can I say, I like that competition. Issei, I see. Mayumi, when were you going to tell me that Tatsuya-san and Miyuki-san already knew about our relationship? Issei, I had forgotten, honestly. Sorry. It bothers you that I haven't told you. Mayumi, a little at first, but I talked to him a bit. So there's no problem, I know they're trustworthy friends. Issei, I'm glad you're not upset. And you haven't told a friend of yours? Mayumi, but maybe later. For now, we have to concentrate on the competition. Issei, I understand. Well, you must be tired. I'll leave so you can get some sleep. Mayumi, stay with me, okay? Issei just nodded and then he lays down on the bed and she does the same. When she is close to Issei, he just hugs her. Issei, better. Mayumi, much better, I'll sleep well this way. Issei, I'm glad you're resting. While stroking her hair. Mayumi, I have to take advantage now since the others won't be there when I get back. Issei, yes, but don't worry about the future. For now, just relax and continue with your peaceful life. Mayumi, since you came into my life changed a lot. Issei, you didn't like the change. Mayumi, of course, hee. As she hugged Issei tighter, after a few minutes she fell asleep and so did Issei. Hours passed and dinner time approached until Issei woke up and saw the time. Minutes later she woke up too. Issei, you were a heavy sleeper. Mayumi, I slept so much. Issei, it's long past dinner time. Mayumi, it's already very late. From what I see, I have to go with the others to see how the day ends with the other competitors. Issei, what excuse will you give when you arrive? Mayumi, I'll see when I get there. At that both of them got up. Mayumi said goodbye to Issei and left the place. Issei, in order not to attract attention, teleported to his room. Minutes later Tatsuya arrived and they talked for a while. The next day everyone was watching Watanabe's swishing match. In the middle of the competition there was an accident. Tatsuya quickly came out to help, while Issei sat there watching what had happened. Since that was no coincidence. Minutes passed and they took her to the infirmary. Issei, Tatsuya, something happened there that was no coincidence. Tatsuya, so what happened? Issei, someone used some magic but it was on a very weak scale. I couldn't detect in time who sent it, but if I see it again I'll know who it was. Tatsuya, thanks for the tip. Issei, and how is Watanabe-senpai? Tatsuya, he has some broken ribs, but he will no longer be able to participate in the competition. Issei, too bad for her. Tatsuya, you should go see her there. Kaicho should be there already, since they are friends. Issei, sure, see you later. Leaving the place. After a few minutes of walking he arrived at his destination and saw Watanabe in bed and Mayumi sitting. Issei, he's still unconscious. Mayumi, yes, but he will wake up soon since the sedatives they gave him will stop taking effect. Issei, I see, Tatsuya already informed me what happened. I'm sorry about your friend. Mayumi, it's not okay, it was an accident. Issei, Mayumi, that was not an accident. Mayumi, what do you mean? Issei, someone made her fall. Although the magic they left behind was very weak, I could feel it. Someone provoked it. If she attacks again, I'll know who it was. Mayumi, I see, thanks for telling me. Issei, sure, no problem. At that point Watanabe began to wake up, and as he did so he wanted to know what happened. Issei, well, when you fell Tatsuya ran out quickly and saw your wounds and carried you like a princess, taking everyone in his path. Watanabe was very embarrassed hearing that, but Mayumi punched Issei. Mayumi, that's all a lie. He just saw your wounds and told the doctors to be careful. Watanabe, I see. And you, Issei, why do you say that? Issei, I wanted to see your reaction and it was funny, ha ha ha. Mayumi, we'll talk about it later. Issei, maybe? Well, see you later. I hope you recover soon. Leaving the place. 25. Most of them were gathered together looking for a solution to the problem they had with Watanabe. Hattori, this is important, but I have a question. Watanabe, and that would be it. Hattori, what is that boy doing here? Pointing at Issei, who was sitting next to Tatsuya. Issei, why should I lie to you if I don't even have a clue? Mayumi, it's not time to argue, okay? Trying to change the subject since she asked him to go. In the end Hattori did as he liked her. They continued with the discussion and, after finishing, each one went their own way. Only 4 people left. Tatsuya, if it weren't for Kaicho, they'd kick you out. Issei, it's true, I appreciate it. Mayumi, it's partly my fault since I brought you even though you didn't want me to. Issei, but in the end he put it aside since you asked him to. Miyuki, I can imagine how he'll feel when he finds out that you two are a couple. Issei, when that day comes, I'll feel like someone is going to want to kill me. Mayumi, come on, don't worry. When that day comes I will protect you even though it won't be necessary. Issei, well, let's leave what will happen in the future. And you Tatsuya, you must not help in the morning, we will support your team. Tatsuya, well, I'm leaving. See you later. Miyuki, good night. That left just the couple. Issei, you should go rest too. Tomorrow we have to support the others. Mayumi, it's okay. Let me know if anything bad happens. Issei just nods, Mayumi just gives him a kiss and then leaves, leaving Issei alone in the room. He walks to the window and looks at the view. Issei, I hope there are no problems. If something happens I will take care of it with my own hands. Having a serious face. After finishing saying that, he went to his room as well. The next day everyone was supporting Shizuka since she would also be a sniper. Issei, Ichihara-senpai, who would win between her and Kaicho? Ichihara, both are good, but Kaicho would win because he has more experience. Issei, I see, thanks for the information. Nakaju, you shouldn't be with the others supporting from closer up. Issei, I'm fine here. It's a better view, isn't it, Kaicho? Mayumi, yes, that's right. Since I wasn't even paying attention. Ichihara, you don't know what we were talking about, do you? Mayumi, I was actually thinking about the other competitions. That's how it started, and as expected the winner was Shizuku. A day passed and everything was over, and the next day several people were gathered in a tent. Mayumi, you girls did very well. Mayumi, you too, Tatsuya-san. Tatsuya, they did everything, I didn't do much. The girls just denied as he did everything like the strategies and calibrating their CAD. Issei, let's leave this topic aside. Helping Tatsuya since he knew the reason why he didn't want to be included in the new Index Magic book. Issei, Tatsuya, we can talk a little before you go help Anoka. Tatsuya just nods and they both leave the tent. Issei, those from the third school are a little suspicious of you. Since your team managed to get the first 3 places. Tatsuya, I see, thanks for the information, but I don't think I can do anything. Besides, I'm just an engineer, so I won't compete with them. Issei, that's one point. But it's better to be cautious. Tatsuya, and tell me, have you discovered something new? Issei, not for now. And Mizuki and Yoshida haven't told you anything. Tatsuya, they are also watching. Issei, I see, well, I'll leave you, I'll go invent somewhere. Wish Anoka good luck from me. At that, Issei leaves the place and Tatsuya returns to the tent. Mayumi, and where is Issei? Tatsuya, he had something important to do. I'll leave you since I have to help Anoka with something. Taking his things and leaving the place. Minutes passed, and he explained the plan to her. Everything happened like the original story until the moment it was Miyuki's turn to fight. The others watched from a room. Issei, wow, I arrived on time. Mayumi, what have you done to yourself? Issei, I've been investigating the people who were causing trouble. Mayumi, don't get into trouble, okay? Issei, I'm fine. I didn't discover anything in the end, and that's how it goes. Watanabe, well, it wasn't very difficult, as I see it, in the end she won. Issei approaches the window and saw how he had destroyed all the ice pillars. Issei, I've already moved on to the next round. With you, Tatsuya won't have much difficulty. Tatsuya just gave her a half smile. Then night came and they were celebrating all the victories. Tatsuya was surrounded by several girls. Issei, he's already become famous from what I see. Mayumi, she has achieved many victories, it was worth seeing. Issei, so I see, but someone isn't very happy about his popularity. Mayumi, who is not happy? At that, Issei points at a person. Mayumi, you're talking about Morisaki. Tatsuya-san hasn't liked him very much since day one. Issei, I see, but you should tone down your anger. If you continue like this, you won't win tomorrow. Mayumi, many people are quick to be guided. Issei, well, how about we go too, it's late now. Mayumi, okay. Come with me to my room. Issei, it will be a pleasure. So they both leave while talking about anything. The next day the competitions continued, with Anoka winning hers. The most important one for some was between Shizuku and Miyuki. Watanabe, who are you supporting? Issei. Issei, the truth is that Miyuki will be the winner. Shizuku is strong, but she will lose. Watanabe, you are too sincere in saying that. Issei, it's better to tell the truth than to give false hope. Watanabe didn't say anything, then it started, and just as Issei said, the winner was Miyuki without much difficulty. Issei, I told you. She put up a fight though. Watanabe, do you think she's frustrated for losing? Issei, I don't think so, maybe she was already aware that she was going to lose. In that they both went to see other competitions. When they were returning to the tent they received some news. Issei, Tatsuya, what happened? Tatsuya, Morisaki and his team had an accident in their Monolith Code game. Issei, I see. Watching the screen and analyzing the situation. Mayumi arrives and they both follow her. Mayumi, guys, don't get into trouble, okay? Tatsuya, I'd say they're following us. As you may know, a group from the Hong Kong syndicate came on the first day of the tournament armed. Mayumi, yes, I know. Issei informed me about it. I was also around there. Tatsuya, going on a date. Mayumi just turned red upon hearing that, and Tatsuya just put on a half smile. Mayumi, that's not important for now. Just don't get into trouble, and this is more for you, Issei. Issei, we'll see, I can't promise anything. At that point, everyone went their separate ways. Later, it was already time and Tatsuya was called by the leaders. Issei went because Tatsuya asked him to. Upon entering, they both sat down. Hattori, you again. We just called Shiba. Issei, he invited me, relax. Jumanji, this is no time to argue. Tatsuya, we're calling you since we want you to replace Morisaki's group. Tatsuya, but I'm not qualified for that. Jumanji, don't belittle yourself, Tatsuya, we know your capabilities, so accept. Tatsuya thought about it for a few minutes until he finally agreed. Tatsuya, but I will choose my team since those who are available I don't think they trust me. Hattori, but that would be difficult to achieve. Jumanji, no problem, you have someone in mind. Tatsuya, yes. Leo and Yoshida, both from Class E. Jumanji, you know their capabilities, that's why you chose them. Tatsuya, that's right. Mayumi, because you didn't include Issei in your group. Tatsuya, it's because we've never fought together and I don't know their full capabilities, that's the reason. Mayumi, I understand. Jumanji, well, this will end here. You can leave and inform your companions. At that he gets up from his seat just like Issei, and they both leave the place. Issei, well, in the end you had to participate. I wish you luck and thanks for not including me. Tatsuya, I didn't include you because I knew you would refuse. Besides, you're busy, aren't you? Issei, I already discovered the location of the place, you say when and we go. Tatsuya, thank you, and how many are there? Issei, just a group of old men and some reinforced humans. Tatsuya, I told you when. At that point they both take different paths to go to their room. 26. The next day Tatsuya and his group were on the battlefield ready to begin. Issei, those two are really interested in the outcome. Miyuki, who? Issei, those over there from the third school. Targeting Ichiju and company. Miyuki, we ran into them a few days ago. They wanted to know about my Oni-sama's capabilities. Issei, I see that seeing him in battle will take away their curiosity. The match begins and Tatsuya's group takes the advantage. When he was about to arrive at the place, someone tried to attack him with the sword, but Tatsuya used Graham Demolition. Issei, they were surprised to see that. Miyuki, it's not a magic that just anyone can have. It was to be expected that there would be several spectators. Issei, I could tell. And you, Miyuki, will soon have your competition too, right? Miyuki, that's right. I asked Onisama if I can use the flying device. Issei, I see you're having fun there. Miyuki, I will. In that they heard how Tatsuya and his team won. A day passed and the group had another match. This time it was a bit difficult for them, but in the end they ended up winning the match. After a few hours the group was watching the fight against their last rival. Issei, you won't be able to handle them. Tatsuya, they're good, actually. I'll see in battle. I have to come up with a new plan. Issei, I wish you luck because you're going to need it. After the meeting everyone went to their rooms. The night passed, and it was a new day and everyone was supporting their two schools. Issei, they won't have it easy at all. Mayumi, they think they'll win. Issei, I don't know. Tatsuya will come up with a good strategy. From what you saw just now, his two companions wearing those cloaks. Watanabe, they know what they mean. Issei, not at all. It's my first time seeing them too. But they'll be useful for something. Hattori, you shouldn't be with the others watching the match, there should only be the staff here. Issei, hey, don't be angry. You know I haven't done anything to you, why do you bring me that attitude? Hattori, you always butt into things that don't concern you. You think you're special just because you're friends with Kaicho and other people. Issei, of course not. They invite me and I accept, so as not to be rude, and like you said, they are my friends. Mayumi, both of you stop, don't you see that the fight is about to start, and here you are arguing? And your Vice President Hattori, it's not the time for complaints. Hattori, it's okay, Kaicho. Issei didn't say anything and just sat down. Seconds later he received a message from Mayumi. He opened it and read it. You're angry because of what she said. As he read it, he looked at her out of the corner of his eye and replied. She quickly felt her cell phone jump and saw the message. Nothing, don't worry. She just put on a smile and they watched the meeting. The fight happened the same as the original story. When seeing how Tatsuya was hurt, everyone was worried except Issei since he already knew his ability. When they got up, several were surprised that he still hadn't had many lessons. After a short fight, Tatsuya's group ended up winning. Mayumi, despite having such injuries, he still continued to fight. Issei, he's not someone easy to defeat. The good thing is that they ended up winning in the end. Jumanji, if the youth competition belongs to us. Several began to celebrate. Issei got up from his seat and left the place. Mayumi followed him when she saw him leave. Mayumi, where are you going? Issei, I'll go to the infirmary to see how he is. Do you want to come? Mayumi, sure, let's go. With that, they both head to the infirmary. Mayumi, tell me what you discovered. Issei, what makes you think I've found something? Mayumi, I know what you are like, darling. Tell me. Issei, you telling me that makes me shiver. Mayumi, maybe you don't like it. Issei, yes, but you say it as if you were angry. Mayumi, okay, sorry. And you'll tell me, right? Issei, fine, I'll tell you, but don't tell anyone, okay, I trust you. Mayumi, it's okay. Issei, I found the place where those responsible for the attack these days are. Tatsuya and I will go later. Mayumi, that's dangerous, I don't allow it. Issei, that's why I didn't want to tell you. Besides, you know I'll be going in the end. Mayumi, I know. But be careful, I know you're strong, but I worry that the other girls might be too. Issei, I worry about you too. I don't want anyone to hurt you or touch you. Mayumi, wow, you are very overprotective. Issei, you don't like it. Mayumi, the opposite is true. That just means you liked it a lot. Issei, that's right. I like seeing your smile and those beautiful red eyes. Mayumi, thanks for the compliment, but don't think that changed the subject. Issei, well, I tried, hee. Mayumi, and when will they go? Issei, I don't know. When that day comes, don't worry. Mayumi, you better. Issei, it's almost autumn, isn't it? Mayumi, it's starting to get a little chilly now. Issei, yes. They reached their destination, and when they entered they saw only Miyuki. Issei, you put on quite a show there. Tatsuya, I did my best. Mayumi, you're fine now. From what I saw, those attacks were deadly. Tatsuya, yes, I'm fine. Thanks for the concern, I managed to cover the most important thing. Mayumi, I'm glad. Issei already informed me about that. Tatsuya, you don't know how to keep secrets. Issei, she knew how to talk to me, even I don't know how. Miyuki, what are you talking about? At that, Issei gives him a brief explanation. Miyuki, Oni-sama, that's a bit dangerous to do. Tatsuya, it's nothing and you know it. Miyuki, I know, but I'm still worried. Tatsuya just rubs her head to calm her down. Tatsuya, also, I'll go with Issei. We'll both do it quickly. It's better to resolve this matter soon before it causes more problems. Mayumi, and when will they go? Issei, in 2 days like this Tatsuya will recover completely. Miyuki, I hope you don't have any problems. Issei, not at all. Well, let's go, Mayumi, it's a little late. I'll go with you. She just nods and they both say goodbye to the brothers and leave the place. On the way they met Watanabe. Watanabe, and what you were doing together is already a bit late. Issei, we came to see Tatsuya. Watanabe, I see, and how is he? Issei, it's okay, you just have to rest for a while, and tomorrow you'll be fine. Watanabe, I see, Mayumi-san, there are still some matters that need to be resolved, that's why I was looking for you. Mayumi, I understand. Then Issei, see you later. Issei just nods and watches as the two leave the place. The next day the competitions continued calmly until there was a problem with one of the competitors from the first school. Mizuki called Tatsuya to inform him that he saw something interfering with the girl's CAD. At that point Tatsuya took Miyuki's CAD for a checkup and discovered that that was the place. The rest went by like history. So did Miyuki's competition. Night came and Miyuki fell asleep in Tatsuya's room. He left the room and went to Issei's. Tatsuya, let's do it now. Issei, it's not because of Miyuki. Tatsuya, you know I can't stand it when someone hurts her. Issei, I understand you, she's like a sister to me too, just like you, so of course, let's go now. At that point they both leave the hotel. 27. A few minutes passed and Miyuki joined the party with the rest. Anoka, Miyuki-san, where is Tatsuya-san? Miyuki, he is still very tired. Erika, it was clear that after his fight he still continued working, and where Issei is? Miyuki, I don't know, he always gets lost somewhere. Everyone who knew him understood. Mayumi was talking with her friends until her cell phone rang, and she walked away from the rest. Mayumi, Issei, what's wrong? Issei, I'm going with Tatsuya to end all those problems. Mayumi, just be careful please. Issei, sure, see you tomorrow, take care. Thus cutting the morning short, she returned with the rest. Watanabe, it was a big deal. Mayumi, it was something from the house but not that much. Well, we celebrated Mayumi's victory. At this everyone raises their glasses and celebrates. Meanwhile, two people were heading towards the place. After a few minutes they reached the top of a building. Issei, I think this is fine. You can do it since you need to get that anger out. Tatsuya, thank you. Issei just nodded and leaned on a railing and waited for everything to end. The rest happened like the story where Tatsuya gets a lot of information about who the leader is and how he kills them one by one. Issei, you feel better? Tatsuya, why would I lie to you if I told you no? Issei, well, tomorrow is the last day of the tournament, now you can relax a little. Tatsuya, that's the good thing. But I have to report what I discovered. Issei, I know. Well, let's go back. At that, Issei approaches Tatsuya a little and snaps his fingers, and both appear in Issei's room. Tatsuya, you know, I won't get used to that. Issei, over time, yes. Tatsuya and Miyuki already knew about Issei from the first day he told them, so there would be no secrets. At first they were surprised but accepted it in the end. With that, he went to his room and Issei just lay down on his bed falling asleep. The next day the last confrontation took place, between Jumanji and his group, and they emerged as champions. At night there was a dance, which ended the competition. Tatsuya danced with everyone from his team and also Mayumi. Mayumi, where is he? Tatsuya, in the garden. You already know that he cannot enter, and if he does, he can only be a waiter. Mayumi, I understand, I'll go later. At that moment Jumanji arrives and takes Tatsuya out of the building. Issei, seeing him, activates an invisibility spell so as not to disturb him. They had the same conversation. Jumanji left the place, leaving just the two of them. Issei, wow, I didn't expect you to be offered such a deal. Tatsuya, so you heard everything? Issei, yes. Tatsuya, I see, but you know that won't happen. Issei, I know, but well, look, there come two people. Tatsuya saw his sister and Mayumi coming. Mayumi, what did Jumanji want? Issei, he wanted you to marry Tatsuya. The two girls were surprised when he said that. Miyuki, that's right, Onisama. Tatsuya, yes it is, but you know I won't do it. Mayumi, and you, Issei, say it very calmly. Issei, well, if someone tries to take you away from me, they would have to fight me first, or I would kidnap you. Hearing that, she turned red and Issei just approached her. Issei, would you dance with me? Extending a hand, she, with some embarrassment, takes it, and they both begin to dance just like the other two. Issei, is all this finally over? Mayumi, yes, that was a lot of things for just a few days. Tatsuya, Kaisho wants to come to our house for dinner one day. Issei will make dinner. Mayumi, sure, thanks for the invitation. Tell me what day to reserve it. Issei, fine, I'll do something you'll like. Mayumi, I hope so. In that the four continued dancing, sometimes laughing at some things about Issei. The night passed and everyone went to their rooms. The next day everyone returned to the academy and began a new semester. A few days passed and nothing interesting had happened. Everyone had a quiet life without problems. It was night time and Mayumi was at Tatsuya's house since it was dinner day. Issei, well, first congratulations Miyuki for your position as vice president. Miyuki, thank you. Mayumi, I won't have so much work from now on. Miyuki, since you've been with Issei, you've become a very relaxed person. Mayumi, it's his fault. Issei, I don't regret anything. At that the four of them burst out laughing. Issei, also congratulations to Tatsuya for being chosen for the competition. Tatsuya, that was a surprise to me too, but Ichihara-senpai took up an interesting topic. Mayumi, I wish you luck. Help her in any way you can. Tatsuya, that's how it will be. Issei, Tatsuya was the one who least wanted to stand out, and in the end it was the opposite. Tatsuya, I know. You're the only one who doesn't stand out. Issei, I'm good at not doing that. Mayumi, it's better this way. If only you didn't have so many suitors around all the time. Issei, just seeing your red eyes would make them run away in fear. Mayumi, I don't think that will happen, right guys? The two brothers looked away. Mayumi, Miyuki-san, what he says is true. Miyuki, well, when you're upset and you smile at someone it's a little scary. Issei, see, I was right, so don't worry. Mayumi, that doesn't help much, you know. Issei, how about we go skiing for Christmas? Mayumi, sounds good, I haven't done it in a while. Tatsuya, it'll be good to relax a bit. Mayumi, just tell me when and I'll arrange a few things. Issei, well, that's all. You won't regret going. Tatsuya, with you as the leader, there are still things to say. Issei, ha 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 ha, who knows? Mayumi, he's right, Issei. Issei, well, let's leave that topic aside and enjoy our dinner. The others just nodded and started eating. After a few minutes they were done. And Issei accompanied Mayumi as much as he could. Issei, you're having fun. Mayumi, the truth is yes, thank you for everything. Issei, it's nothing. I want all my partners to be happy. Mayumi, thank you for that. I hope I can get along with them. Issei, that's right, they have a bit of your attitude. Mayumi, which one? Issei, that's a funny attitude. But now, like I said before, don't worry about the future, just enjoy the present. Mayumi, I know. Well, there haven't been any problems so far. Issei, yes there are, they just haven't acted. Mayumi, what are you talking about? Issei, many immigrants have arrived in this country in the last few days. But when you question them, they don't say anything. Some of them are Asian. Mayumi, do you think they are from that organization? Issei, maybe. If they haven't acted yet, it's because they're waiting for something interesting to happen. Mayumi, like the invention demonstration. Issei, maybe they want to take advantage of the fact that there are many people present to finish them off. Mayumi, and what can we do? Issei, nothing for now. But don't worry, Tatsuya and I are looking for a solution. Mayumi, you guys sure get into trouble. Issei, well, we have important people to protect. Mayumi, don't do anything crazy. Issei, you know how I fight. Mayumi, I know. They walked for a few more minutes. Mayumi, well, someone will come to pick me up here. Issei, okay. Then he takes her by the waist and gives her a kiss. She just intertwines her arms around his neck. After a few seconds they separated. Issei, good lipstick flavor. Mayumi, I'm glad you liked it. Issei, okay, I'm leaving. They're coming to get you. At that, Issei teleported to his house. 28. It was a new day. Issei and Tatsuya were walking to the library. Then they meet Mayumi. Mayumi, what are you guys doing? Issei, Tatsuya will go look for information for his project. And I, well, have nothing to do, so I'll go rest a bit there. Mayumi, you're so lazy, you know. Issei, I don't always have these moments. Mayumi, let's talk better. See you, Tatsuya-san? He just nodded. Mayumi took Issei's arm and they both entered a small room. Issei, before we start. Issei snaps his fingers. Mayumi, what was that? Issei, so that the camera doesn't watch us, it will only show an image of us talking. And tell me what happens. Mayumi, can't I have a moment with my boyfriend? Issei, of course. Mayumi, I've just been helping A-chan with some things since she's the president now, and well, I'm a little tired. Leaning on Issei's shoulder, and he just hugs her. Issei, it's not easy what you have to do from what I see. Mayumi, wait a minute and tell me something new happened. Issei, so far everything is fine, don't worry, I've been keeping an eye on everything. Mayumi, how do you do all that? Issei, years of experience on the battlefield make you prepare for future attacks. Mayumi, I see. Let's not talk about it for now and just hold me. Issei, as ordered. Giving her a hug and a kiss on the forehead, making her put on a smile. After a few minutes they left the club and both went their separate ways. Issei met with his friends at the usual cafeteria to talk, and he felt like someone was watching them, but he did nothing since Leo and Erika left before. Issei, Tatsuya, those two will go look for the one who was watching us. Tatsuya, I could tell, but I see that he doesn't have bad intentions, so we can leave it to them. Issei just nodded and they continued with their thing. A day passed and everyone was at the academy. Several students were looking at the group's invention. Issei, looks great, good job. Tatsuya, thank you, although it still needs a long time to be complete. Issei, but being you, you will achieve it quickly. Miyuki, Issei is right, Onisama. In that, Issei sees how some boys follow a girl. Issei, I think they want to start already, stay tuned. Miyuki, I know. That girl wanted information about the project. They continued like this for a few minutes until someone from the disciplinary committee arrived. Sekimoto, you can't be here. Issei, I'm just supporting a friend, I'm not doing anything wrong. Sekimoto, I'm the one in charge here, you leave by fair means or foul. That's when Ichihara arrives, since the others had gone to see the girl who wanted to steal the project. Ichihara, Sekimoto, what do you think you're doing? Sekimoto, I'm just driving this intruder away. Ichihara, he's not doing anything wrong. Leave him alone. He's Tatsuya's friend and mine too. Sekimoto just made a face and left the place. Ichihara, he's always been like this, don't worry. Issei, it's okay and thank you for the words. She just nodded and left the place. The day passed and it was already late, and several students were being trained by Jumanji while Mayumi along with Watanabe and Issei watched everything. Issei, the truth is that they won't have the chance to hurt him. Watanabe, how little trust you put in him. Issei, I'm just telling the truth, Jumanji-senpai's ability is very strong. Mayumi, and you Issei could against him. Issei, who knows? Watanabe, since the fight you had against Tatsuya-san, I haven't seen you fight again. Issei, I don't get the chance to fight very often. Watanabe, how about we fight someday? Issei, no thanks. I don't really like fighting. Watanabe, you're so boring that you won't get a partner like that. Issei just put on a smile and Mayumi was going to blush but she held back. Issei, who knows? Watanabe, I'm telling you the truth, you don't do much. Issei, I like to keep a low profile and just so you know, I have a partner. Watanabe, seriously, who would be that boring person like you? At that, Issei puts his arm around Mayumi's neck and gives her a hug. Watanabe, seeing that, had his eyes wide open and was in shock. Watanabe, I'm joking, right? Tell me it's a lie, Mayumi. Mayumi was all red. Mayumi, well, it's true, it was before the academy tournament, you're the first one who knows apart from Tatsuya and Miyuki. Watanabe, but how did it happen? And why until now? Issei, I saw that I can trust you. And besides, you're Mayumi's friend. And that's good, you know what position she's not in. Watanabe, I know, but this is quite a surprise, really. Issei, so you call her boring? Giving her a smile. Mayumi, Mari, you are bad. Watanabe, and how was I supposed to know it would be you? If Hattori buries himself, he'll try to kill you, you know that, right, Issei? Issei, I know, but it won't be easy for him. He lost his chance. While hugging Mayumi? Watanabe, well, I agree with you on that. Even so, take care of her. She's a bit absent-minded, but she's a good girl, and she's my friend. Issei, I'm sure of it. At that, they saw that Jumanji had already finished, and the three of them went home. A few days had passed and Sekimoto tried to steal some data but was caught by Tatsuya and another person. Also, Watanabe fought against Lu Gonghu. At that time, 4 people went to a place to interrogate Sekimoto to find out who sent him. When they finished, they went out and the alarm sounded that someone had entered. And they saw that it was Lu Gonghu. At that, Watanabe went on the attack while the other 3 just watched. Tatsuya, Issei, you take care of it. Issei, take care of it like that. Mayumi, you should kill him so that he doesn't cause problems in the future. Issei, and how are they going to explain that he died? Mayumi, I'll take care of that. Issei, okay. In that, they saw that he was coming towards them. Issei just took a step forward and kicked him in the stomach, causing him to fall to his knees. At that, Issei half crouched down and snapped his fingers, keeping him, leaving Watanabe surprised as he left no trace. Watanabe, how did you do that? Issei used the same idea as Tatsuya in his fight, only with greater power. She didn't say anything else, and they just left the place. A few days passed and all the schools were already gathered in a building ready to present their inventions. Issei, Mayumi, be careful, something will happen here. Mayumi, I'll have it, and what will you do? Issei, it's close to here, and if something happens, I'll eliminate it. Mayumi, be careful. Issei just nodded and left the place, leaving her and the rest in the auditorium since it would start shortly. Issei was walking through the streets until he felt several auras heading towards the building. Issei, well, it's been a while since I've stretched my muscles, to be honest. It's time to work. Going to a place since he knew that Tatsuya and company could handle those who were heading there. 29. Tatsuya and company were killing those who came to invade the place. Leo, Tatsuya, and where is Issei? I haven't seen him. Tatsuya, he was outside the building when all this happened. In this they continue on their way. Miyuki, Oni-sama, where is he? Tatsuya, I don't know, last time we talked he told me he was looking for the person responsible. So they continued with their thing, looking for a place like in the original story. Meanwhile, Issei was walking through the streets and that several machines and some soldiers had him surrounded. Soldier, wow, but if he's a student from the first academy, we were ordered to wipe out everyone there. Issei didn't say anything and they started shooting at him. He just created a barrier after they finished. Issei moved at great speed and summoned a sword, and with it he killed them all just like the machines, scaring the others since he did it with calmness. Some tried to escape, but they didn't succeed since Issei was faster, and he killed them all and continued on his way. Tatsuya and his group were in a private room meeting with Mayumi and company. Mayumi, you know something about him. Tatsuya, no, but it has to be okay, you know what no is like. Mayumi, still, there are a lot of them. At that moment the colonel arrives and gives the order to Tatsuya to go into combat, surprising everyone except Mayumi, who already knew about him but pretended to be surprised as well. Everyone left the building to help the rest of the students, while arresting most of them. Issei had already found the aura of the person responsible for the attack, and went towards him. After a few minutes of walking and killing on his way, he arrived. As he did so, he saw him sitting there. Issei, you've caused a lot of trouble for Xiangshan Hajime. Upon hearing that voice, he turned around because he didn't even notice when someone came in. Hajime, how did you find me? Issei, it's not very difficult to do, but you know you've caused a lot of damage. And I don't like trouble. As he began to walk, seeing him approaching, he took a step back and fell to the ground. Seeing Issei look scared. In that, Issei just killed him without doing anything, and when he finished he left the place. The rest were helping the students leave in the helicopters they had called. A few minutes passed and all the students were leaving the place, leaving only one to defend us. The rest happened like the original story, like the death of both people and how Tatsuya saved them, and how they discovered their ability. When everyone was in the helicopter there was silence until they saw Issei appear in the middle of nowhere, surprising everyone. Watanabe, how did you do that? Issei, it's an ability that allows me to teleport. He then takes a seat next to Miyuki. Issei, something happened. Miyuki, not much, just that they already know Oni-sama's ability. Issei, I see. Everything is ending now, only the ships are missing, but he will take care of that. Miyuki, I'm glad this is all over at last. After a few minutes the helicopter landed, and as it did everyone saw a huge explosion in the distance out to sea. Mayumi, that was Tatsuya-san, wasn't it? Issei. Issei, that's right. It's all over now, go home and rest, a lot of things have happened. Mayumi just nodded and left with company. Issei left with Miyuki when they arrived. A few hours passed, and Aunt called her. Issei, I see you're not happy that I called you right now. Miyuki, it's just that it's a bad time, and the only thing she claims is that she knows that Oni-sama is busy right now. While clenching his fists. Issei, I see. It's time for me to help out a little so I can take a weight off your shoulders. Miyuki, how? Issei, I'll go talk to her for a bit. I want you to think about where she is. Miyuki listens and thinks about the place. Issei just approaches and joins their foreheads. Issei, I'll be back later. Miyuki, Be careful. Issei just nodded and then he just snapped his fingers and left the place. Meanwhile, in a mansion, Maya was in his office looking at some documents. Issei, it's a beautiful night, isn't it? Hearing that voice, she searched the room until she saw Issei at the window. Maya, calm, remained seated. Maya, you could say that. And that brings you here. Issei, I wanted to know who the leader of the Yotsuba clan was. You are as strong as I can be. Starting to walk and taking a seat near Maya. Maya, I see. Issei, don't try to ask for outside help, we're both alone here. Since Issei had created a barrier in the place. At that he pours himself some tea. Issei, that's good. Maya, it is of high quality. Giving him a fake smile. Issei, well, let's get to the important matters. Maya, it took you about time to say it. Issei, well, I like meeting new people. But before we start, you better not do anything stupid when using your magic. Having a serious face and his eyes red from destruction. She was a little scared when she saw them. Issei, well, I want you to do me a favor. Maya, and that would be it. Issei, I want you to stop bothering Tatsuya and Miyuki. Upon hearing those names, she got up from her seat, while Issei just drank his tea. Maya, what do you mean by that? Issei, what you heard. They are longtime friends of mine, you could say they are the brothers I never had. Maya, you have no right to come to my house and ask for such things. Issei, I promise to help them and that's what I will do. Thanks to this family, they can have a peaceful family. You think I don't know what they did to Tatsuya when he was little, all those experiments to make him a weapon. Maya, how did they give you all that? Issei, nobody told me many things. Demon King of the Far East. Maya, who are you? Issei, as a friend of theirs said. Maya, and you think I'll listen to a brat like you? Besides, you know who I am, I won't be intimidated so easily. Issei, I know. I know you're strong, it's not for nothing that you're one of the most powerful magicians in the world. But at what cost? Maya, what do you mean? Issei, to reach that level you had to go through Kunlun Fang Institute. When she heard that, she remembered her past. That was what she most wanted to forget in her life. Maya, how do you know that? I made sure that no one spoke of it. I eliminated everyone who knew. Issei, it was someone called Jito Haigu. When she heard that name, she sat down because she hated that name. Maya, it's a lie, he's dead. She said it angrily. Issei, I know it wasn't very easy to find his corpse. He searched in various places until he found him in a very remote place. By doing so, he revived him and forced him to tell everything. By doing so, he killed him again. Maya, but... She said it trembling, she hated that past. Issei, look Maya, I have nothing against you but my friends want their freedom but this family doesn't allow it. Maya, Miyuki must be strong so she doesn't go through the same thing I did. And as for Tatsuya, he was weak as a child and his mother was in favor of everything. Issei, even so, from now on, set them free. If you do, I'll help you with something. Maya, so what? Issei, with Zhou Gongjin. 30. When she heard his name, she got angry. Maya, that man escaped years ago and when someone is close to finding him I don't know how he manages to escape. Issei, well, he has a magic that allows him to change memories. Maya, you know who it is? Issei, yes. Hearing that, she gets up from her seat and looks Issei in the eyes. Maya, where is he? Issei, and when you know what will you do? Maya, the answer is obvious no. Issei, I don't think you'll have it that easy. In this time he has made many friends and causing a problem can lead to a war. Maya, that doesn't matter. Issei, take a seat first. She, somewhat angry, returned to her place. Issei, I'll help you with him and also with the people who did that to you. Maya, you know where everyone is. Issei, if it wasn't that easy you know. They are scattered in various parts of the world. Some are criminals who are locked up and others are in prison, and some have a normal life with their families. Maya, tell me. Issei, first things first, promise me that you won't do anything to them anymore and let them have their lives. Maya, if it is to fulfill my revenge, I will do it. Issei, good. In that, Issei takes out a document, and she reads it all, and in the end she signs it since her revenge comes first. Issei, well, everything is done. Tomorrow I will come early, and we will go look for your first target. Maya, because you will go too. Issei, you know, I help people who need it, and I know you've suffered. I'll help you as much as I can. He then leaves the place. Minutes later the butler arrives. Butler, do you need something? Maya, cancel everything for tomorrow. I have something important to do. Butler, okay, ma'am. Leaving the place. Leaving her alone. Maya, who are you, Issei? Meanwhile he appeared in the living room of his room and noticed that Miyuki was already asleep, so he went to his room. The next day Tatsuya had already returned and the three of them were having breakfast. Issei, I won't be going to the academy for a while. Tatsuya, what will you do? Issei, help someone. But before you go, take this. Throwing a document to Tatsuya, he was surprised when he read it. Miyuki noticed that she got up from her and nodded and went to him. She was also surprised when she did so, and both of them set their sights on Issei. Miyuki, like you did. Issei, it wasn't that easy, you know. But now you guys can have a peaceful life. You can live without that pressure. At that Tatsuya stands up from his seat and bows. Tatsuya, thanks for this, seriously. Issei, get up, you know you are a brother to me just like you, Miyuki, that's why I did it. Miyuki, thank you. You are also a member of this family. Giving him a hug. Issei, okay, but call me just Issei, it would be weird if you called me Tatsuya. Miyuki, it's okay. Tatsuya, okay, Issei. Issei, well, see you guys. He then teleports to Maya's house. When he does, she is in her office. Issei, okay, let's go. Maya, where will we go first to call the pilot? Issei, we'll go to America. And there's no need for that. At that, Issei approaches her and takes her by the waist and snaps his fingers. Seconds later they were in an alley. She was blushing a little since no one had touched her in years. Issei, okay, follow me. She snapped out of her trance and did it. They walked for a few minutes and then they were near a park. Issei, look, that man over there is one of them. Right now he is with his netto. She set her sights on him and watched him play with it happily. Issei, even if you don't believe it, you can see him playing calmly, but he is the leader of a mafia. Maya, so? Issei, I don't know, tell me, I'll help you with whatever I can. But remember, everything must be done discreetly since we are in a foreign country. Maya, okay. Let's find a place to talk first, and I'll plan it from there. Issei just nodded and they both headed to a nearby cafe. Issei, well, any ideas? Maya, you know where his hideout is, right? Where he meets with his subordinates. Issei, of course I know. Maya, fine. Then you take me there when everyone is there, and you take care of all of them, and I'll take care of him. Issei, okay. Maya, you accept very quickly. Issei, I told you I'd help you if you let them. You know they were happy when I told them. Maya, I see. In that both drank a coffee in silence. It got dark and Issei guided her through the place, arriving at a building far from the city. Upon entering, Issei with a snap destroyed all the cameras and at great speed killed those who crossed their path. Maya was surprised as he did it without hesitation. After a few minutes of massacre they arrived at the office. When they opened it, several shots came out of it, and several spells. Issei had a shield activated and he created several spheres of fire and killed everyone around him, making them scream in pain, leaving the old man alone. Old man, what do you want? I haven't done anything to you. He said it scared. Issei, I nothing, she yes. At that point Maya entered the room with a serious face, and the old man knew who she was, since she was one of the most powerful magicians in the world. Old Yotsuba Maya. Maya, I see you haven't forgotten me. Old man, how could you not do it if you are one of the most powerful magicians in the world? Maya, I see, and this was all because of you. Old man, I was just following orders. Maya, you're lying. I remember every damn second of those days. And I'll never forget what they said. Old man, but that's in the past. I'm different now, I have a family just like you. Maya, because of him I can have a family. Issei just watched everything in silence. Maya started walking and the old man was scared and tried to defend himself, but nothing worked since Maya's magic is special and is a meteorite current that allows her to control light more in closed spaces. Then she activated one and hit him in the foot, causing the old man to scream in pain as it burned him. But she kept a serious face. After a few minutes of torture, the old man was still barely alive. Old man, please have mercy. He said it with difficulty and with some tears. Maya, maybe you had it. At that, he created a great spell that he gave to the old man, making him scream, and after a few seconds, not even his ashes were there. When they finished, they left the building and Issei destroyed it without leaving any evidence. They walked for a few minutes until they reached their hotel and both went up to the terrace. Issei didn't say anything, he just watched. Maya, thank you? Issei, there's still a long way to go. Maya, you looked very calm. Issei, I've seen and done many worse things, that's nothing. Maya, I see. Issei, go rest. Tomorrow morning we leave for another state. Most of them are here in the United States. Maya, okay. Going to the door, Issei was left alone on the terrace. He then took a seat on a bench that was there. Issei, it will be a long journey. 31. The next morning Maya was waking up. And not seeing her partner in the bed next to her, she got up and saw on the table that it said that he would be in the cafeteria. In that she goes to the bathroom, takes a shower, and goes to where Issei was. When she saw him, he was eating alone. Maya, good morning. Issei, good morning. At that she gets up from her seat and helps him with hers and sits back down. Maya, you are well educated. Issei, I know many things, Maya. Maya, they still haven't taught you to speak respectfully to your elders. Issei, maybe? She said it without importance since he is much older than her. In that they both ate in silence until Issei received a call. Issei, hello Mayumi? When she heard that name, she was surprised because she obviously knew who it was. Issei, I'm on a trip helping a friend. I'll tell you everything later. We'll start something soon. Likewise. Hanging up the call. Maya, don't tell me it's Chigusa Mayumi. Issei, yes, it's her. Maya, why do you talk to him so casually? Issei, she's my girlfriend. She was surprised when she heard that. Maya, you know his position, right? Issei, of course I'm not stupid, but I don't care. Maya, not if you are brave or very stupid. Issei, I'd say neither. Well, finish your breakfast and we'll be leaving soon. She just nodded, and minutes later they were both leaving the hotel, going to an alley where Issei took her waist again, and they teleported. Maya, you will always do that without my permission. Issei, yes. They both started walking until they reached a prison. Issei, well, there's one. I'll take you somewhere and you'll wait for me there. Maya, and what will you do? Issei, obviously I won't take it to you. Maya, how are you going to get him out of there? Issei, you have your tricks and I have mine. Maya didn't say anything, and then they both started walking. It was getting late, and she was waiting in an abandoned factory. Seconds later Issei arrived with someone who had passed out. Issei, well, in a few minutes he'll wake up, now it's your turn. Maya, okay. At that Issei goes to take a seat. Maya, like you did. Issei, I just went in and out, and don't worry, there were no deaths. Maya, who are you? Issei, We're not very close, just so you know. Maya, I see. Issei, well, finish soon. After this we will go to Brazil. Maya, you're in a hurry. Issei, well, maybe I kind of promised the boys that we would go skiing and this would take time. Maya didn't say anything. Meanwhile in Japan. Mayumi, you know what he's doing, right? Miyuki, not really. But it won't take long. Mayumi, I hope so. Miyuki, have you missed him for just a day? Mayumi, the truth is yes. He brightens my day with his ideas. Miyuki, I won't deny it, now that he's not in the house it feels weird, to be honest. Mayumi, we can only hope it doesn't take too long. In the United States a man was being tortured. Old man, no more please, this hurts. Maya, that's what I said, and in the end what they did. Hurting him further, making him scream more. After a few minutes of torture, it was over. At that Issei gets up from his seat and they both teleport. A month passed and they both traveled around the world killing many people. They were both on a hill since they had killed the last one, and only one of the leaders remained. Maya, only one missing. Issei, you could say so. Maya, what do you mean? Issei, you are also missing Shigesakuchi. Maya, I'm kidding, right? He even lost an eye trying to save me. Issei, it was a cost to lose. He had planned it. Upon hearing that, she fell to her knees and shed a few tears. Issei just approached her and gave her a hug, which she reciprocated. After a few minutes of venting, they separated. Issei, better. Maya, yes, and I lost control when I found out that. Issei, it was to be seen. Maya, but you will still help me, he is your girlfriend's father. Issei, I know. Believe it or not, they don't have a good relationship. Maya, okay. Issei, but those last two people, we will do it in time. Maya, why not now? Issei, you know their ranks. Everything in its own time, I'll take care of it while you just wait. Maya, it's okay. I trust you. Issei, this is the first time you've said those words to me. Maya, well, you've helped me a lot during this time. So I had to do it. Issei, okay. Well, let's go, it's late, and you should rest. With that, they both head to the hotel. Issei was about to sleep until Maya spoke to him. Maya, I can sleep with you. Issei, and that's it. Maya, I'm not sure. Issei, come. She with some sadness goes to where Issei is and he just hugs her and she reciprocates. Issei, you're already used to it, no? Maya, you always do it, so I had to do it. Issei, I see, rest. We'll return home tomorrow. Maya, I have so much to do and explain. Issei, and who is everyone afraid of you? Maya, almost everyone, since you're not afraid of me. Issei, I couldn't be afraid of a beautiful woman. She half blushed, but Issei couldn't see her since she was on his chest. Maya, someday you'll have it, you'll see. Issei, maybe it's the other way around. When all this is over, I'll erase your memories of me. Maya, hearing that, separated from Issei. Maya, because he will do that. Issei, because that way I don't bother you and you don't see me again. Maya, even though you were annoying at first, I eventually learned that you were a different kind of person. So don't even think about doing such a stupid thing. Issei, why not? Maya, because I feel calm by your side. She said it a little blushing. Issei, I thought you hated all men. Maya, that's right, but you're different. I know it's weird for someone my age to confess to a young man. Letting out a light laugh. Issei, even though it may not seem like it, I am thousands of years old. She was surprised when she heard that. Maya, you're not joking. Issei, no. At that he approaches her, and they put their foreheads together. She was going to say something, but many images start to appear in her head. After a few minutes, Issei separates from her. Maya, what was that? Issei, it's my life. Maya, all that. But it's a lot more than all those women. Issei, that's right. They're all my partners. Maya, there are many, even Tatsuya and Miyuki know it, and Chigusa knows it too. Issei, of course they are trustworthy people. Maya, I see. It's a long life. Issei, yes, so you are the young woman here, Maya. Maya, I can tell. Issei, and that's why. Issei approaches her and gives her a big kiss that leaves her surprised when she separates her eyes wide open. Issei, you're mine now. Maya, since when did I accept that? Issei, you said confection a while ago. Maya, and you think I'll accept that easily? Issei, maybe, but you won't leave me now. Taking her by the waist. Maya, you're not a normal person to do all that so calmly. Issei, you could say no. But you're with me now. Maya, I'll just say that I'm in your care now. Giving her a small smile. Issei, that's how it will be, and I hope to always see that smile, not the other one that was evil. Maya, I'll try. Issei, okay, when I get back I'll tell Mayumi. Maya, how will he take it? Issei, I don't know, I'll find out tomorrow. But now rest. She just nodded and hugged Issei, and seconds later she fell asleep with a half smile. Issei, there are many things to do. Closing my eyes to rest. 32. Maya was waking up, and when she looked up she saw Issei looking at her. Issei, good morning. Maya, good morning. Giving her a smile. Issei, do you want to come back now or later? Maya, I actually want to go out a bit. Well, the truth is I've never been on a date. She said it somewhat shyly. Issei, it's okay, I like seeing that shy side of you. Maya, don't take advantage of the situation. Issei, I will. Maya, you're not afraid of death, are you? Issei, of course not. Since I know that you won't do anything to her, since you love me. Giving her a kiss on the forehead. Maya didn't say anything. After a few minutes they both got up and went to have breakfast. When they finished they went out to walk around the places, both holding hands. She had a smile. Night fell and they teleported to the mansion. Issei, well, I'll come from time to time and tell you news. Maya, it's okay. I have things to do. Issei, you should fix the situation with them, you know. Maya, I'll try. Issei, that's how I like it. Giving her a kiss on the forehead when she finished, she left the place. Maya, so many things happen these days, but I don't regret it. Putting on a half smile. Meanwhile, Issei was appearing in the room, and there were the two brothers. Miyuki, welcome. Giving him a hug. Tatsuya, it was a long journey. Issei, wait a minute and tell me something new happened. Tatsuya, everything's fine, just that Chigusa is asking about you. Issei, I see, I'll go see her later. Tatsuya, what did you go to do? Issei, help Maya with some things. When they heard that name they were surprised. Miyuki, what did you do? Issei, I helped her a little with her revenge, we traveled to many places. Miyuki, I see. Issei, during that time, she changed a lot. She promised that she would have a good relationship with both of them, so please do your part too. Tatsuya, it's okay, but you trust her too much. Issei, he's my partner. Both of them had their eyes wide open upon hearing that. A few minutes passed and no one said anything. Miyuki, how was that? Issei, just passing by. Miyuki, I don't know what to say, it's quite a surprise, really. Tatsuya, I say the same. Issei, but everything is fine. Well, I'll go see Mayumi. Miyuki, come back for dinner. Issei just nodded and teleported to Mayumi's house in his room. She wasn't there, so he waited. After a few minutes she came in. Issei, you took a while. When she heard that voice, she looked for the original and saw him sitting near her desk. She ran out and gave him a big hug. Mayumi, you took too long. Issei, sorry, but that was a bit long. Mayumi, okay, so how are you? In that, Issei tells him the same thing as the other two brothers, leaving him in shock as well. Mayumi, this is quite a surprise since I know more or less what she is like. Issei, but it's changed. They'll get along. Mayumi, okay. And what are you going to do about my father? Issei, it's a bit difficult. But I also want to know your decision. Mayumi, the truth is I don't care much. As I told you before, I don't have a good relationship with him, nor do my sisters. Issei, okay. I have to find a way. Mayumi, I can help with something. Issei, yes. I want you to pack. We're going skiing in 2 days. Mayumi, okay. I'll be ready. While sitting on her lap and giving her a kiss. Issei, you haven't changed your taste. Mayumi, if you like it, I'll always use it. Issei, for my sake. Well, I have to go. I promised I would go to dinner with them. With that, he takes Mayumi by the waist and lays her down on his bed. Issei, we'll see each other in 2 days. Mayumi just nodded at that, and Issei left the place. She gets up from her bed and takes out a suitcase and searches for some coats, with a smile. Issei arrives at the house and tells the same thing to the other brothers, and they accept it as well. In that time the days passed, and the 4 were ready. Issei teleports the group near a mountain. Issei, well, let's walk a little. I already made the reservation. Since we are on vacation, I made it for 5 days. Mayumi, you already had everything, you're fast. Issei, it's better not like this. Mayumi, yup. There is only fun left. Miyuki, these will be great days. Issei, I have something to tell you. Issei, go ahead. Miyuki, when we get back we'll go see Auntie. She called us. Issei, I see you have a good talk. Miyuki, that's right. Thanks to you, our life has changed a lot. Issei, they're my family, aren't they? Miyuki, yes, but brothers, I won't call you uncle. Issei, ha 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 ha, that's fine by me. Tatsuya, what things you say, Miyuki? Miyuki, that's how things are, Oni-sama. Issei, well, let's leave that and go have fun. Minutes later they arrived at the hotel where Issei reserved 4 rooms. At that point, the 4 of them went to put their things away, and minutes later they met outside. Issei, let's go. Mayumi, you teach me. Issei, sure, let's go. At that they both separated from each other. A few minutes passed and they were both having fun. Issei, Mayumi smiles. She does as she says, and Issei takes a photo. The day passed and the group was having dinner. Issei, and how did they spend it? Tatsuya, it's been a while since we had fun like this. Miyuki, you are absolutely right, Oni-sama. Issei, when I was in my life I heard a lot about a new strategist magician. Tatsuya, so you already know several. Issei, you should be careful, Tatsuya, things have changed now. Since you caused quite a spectacle that day. Tatsuya, I know. Issei, the most interested are the United States. Do some research and maybe they will send someone. Tatsuya, thank you for the information. You are very knowledgeable. Issei, I don't have much to do, besides I was going to help them. Mayumi, I can tell. You've put a lot of things in the leftovers. Issei, it's better this way. Miyuki, and you know who they will send. Issei, not really. I didn't spend much time in that country. Miyuki, I see. If you know something, tell us. Issei, don't hesitate. Also. Mayumi, what's wrong, Issei? Issei, it's better not to say it since we're on vacation. Miyuki, you've already made us curious. Issei, strange things have been happening in the United States, to be honest. Many magicians have been dying. Tatsuya, and you know the reason. Issei, no? Maybe I'll investigate later, but I have the feeling we'll find out soon enough. Mayumi, when you talk like that, you scare him a little, honestly. Issei, don't worry. As long as I'm here, nothing will happen to you. Mayumi, I know that. And thank you very much. Giving him a hug. Miyuki, how affectionate Mayumi-senpai is. Mayumi, well, we're family. Tatsuya, yes we are. And when will they tell the others? Issei, it depends on her, I have no problem. Mayumi, I would like everyone to know this but… Miyuki, we know that and it's okay. Besides, we changed our surnames to have a quiet life. Tatsuya, then you can tell everyone. Issei, well, how about we have dinner and then rest since we have a lot of things to do tomorrow? The others just nodded. They talked for a few more minutes, had dinner, and a few minutes later everyone went to their rooms for the next day. 33. Issei and company were in their last bit of fun after so much fun. He was having dinner since they had to go back the next day. Miyuki, they were beautiful days. Mayumi, I won't deny it, I made so many memories. While looking at his cell phone and seeing all the photos. Tatsuya, well, we have to get back to our things. Issei, yes, but today is the end of the year and tomorrow we can go to the temple. Mayumi, I can't go, I have to go with my family. Issei, it's okay, and we have a good time together. Mayumi, I know. I will never forget these days. While hugging Issei. Miyuki, you enjoyed the moment. Mayumi, yes, because when we go back to school I'll have a lot to do, plus it's my last year. Tatsuya, and then what will you do? Mayumi, I'll go with Issei. Miyuki, speaking of which, they'll leave when she gets out of studying. Issei, maybe, but before I leave I have to leave some things done. Tatsuya, the day you leave many things will change, even more if Aunt leaves. Issei, that's why you'll help me change everything. Miyuki, this will be difficult, really. Issei, nothing is easy, little sister or niece. He said it with a smile. Mayumi, that's not funny. Issei, maybe a little. After a talk they left the place and saw how the year ended, and the next day they returned to their homes. Issei accompanied Mayumi to her house, and upon returning Issei went with the brothers to the temple in a yukata. Upon arrival they found company. Anoka, how are you? Miyuki, very well, and you? Anoka, as you know, a little well since she went on exchange. Miyuki, it was only for a few months, then he will be back. While they were talking, Issei and Tatsuya were discussing something. Issei, I see you have an admirer. Tatsuya, you were right that they would send someone. Issei, yes, but she's bad at hiding, but she rewards it with her skill. Tatsuya, how strong is she? Issei, the truth is that it won't be easy for you. Tatsuya just let out a sigh, and after a few minutes they continued on their way. When they finished, everyone returned home, and a few days later a new school year began. The group was having lunch until 3 people arrived. Miyuki, guys, I wanted to introduce you to Angelina. Angelina, nice to meet you, Angelina. You can call me Lena. The entire group nodded and introduced themselves as well. Lena, seeing Issei, noticed the strange thing in him, but when he noticed her look, he gave her a small smile. After the presentation they went to their classes. A few days passed and they heard about the attack their friend Leo had, and they all went to the hospital. Tatsuya, what do you think? Issei, I think it's already starting, and for a few days now I've felt those presences. Tatsuya, and how strong they are. Issei, they are somewhat strong, but they only attack magicians and leave no trace of attack, they only lack blood. Tatsuya, like vampires. Issei, it could be. And you will do well. Tatsuya, you know me. Issei, yes, and well when we started. Tatsuya, I already talked to the rest tonight. Issei just nodded and they left for the house. At night, the whole group went out to investigate. Issei went on his own to investigate. Issei, there's one near here. I walk a little faster until I reach where the person was leaving a corpse on the ground. Issei, it's wrong to attack others. The person, upon hearing Issei's voice, jumped back as he didn't sense his arrival. But he didn't say anything and prepared to attack. Issei just stood there watching everything. When Issei attacked, he was still the same. When he was about to hit him, the ability dispersed, surprising the person a little. Issei took a step forward and was in front of the person holding her by the neck. Issei, I don't feel like fighting, so tell me what you're looking for. You don't care, I'll kill you. He tried to attack Issei, but it didn't work. He just broke his neck and he fell dead. Issei noticed something coming out of his body, but he let it go out of curiosity. Issei, this is new and interesting. He continued on his way and met someone. Issei, wow, it's serious. Upon hearing that voice, she turned around and saw Issei with some surprise. Serious? Who are you? Issei, just someone out for a walk, and what are you doing here? Serious? Do you even care what I do? Issei, you could say so since you're Miyuki's friend. She was surprised to hear that, and Issei noticed it. Serious? What are you talking about? Issei, don't play dumb with me, Angelina. At that, her eyes widened as no one knew her identity. Serious? How do you know that? Issei, I have a good eye, actually. At that, Issei became serious, which scared Lena a little without knowing the reason. Issei took a few steps close to her. Lena was going to say something but saw how Issei snapped his fingers and returned to his true appearance, surprised. Issei, I don't like talking in images, so what do you say? Lena, I don't know who you are, but you're not someone to be underestimated. There are no reports of you. Issei, I like secrets and whether you talk or not. Lena, do you think I'll say something? Issei, maybe I also don't want to fight someone as pretty as you. She blushed a little upon hearing that. Lena, are you flirting with me? Issei, I'm just telling the truth, and I already have a partner. Lena, I don't care, you better go or. Issei, or what? As he approached her and could see the destruction in his eyes, Lena felt a small chill. Upon seeing them, Issei, well, it's better for me to leave in the end if I know what's going on and that you're investigating Tatsuya. Lena, who are you? Issei, I already introduced myself before, so you know who I am. Well, it's late, I'll go home, tomorrow there are classes. With that, he teleported, leaving Lena with many doubts about who Issei was. The next day everything went as normal until Tatsuya was called by Jumanji to the living room. He asked Issei to come. Upon arriving, Issei took a seat next to Mayumi, and she just gave him a smile upon seeing him. Tatsuya, they want me to help them with the search party. Jumanji, that's right, we know your abilities, Tatsuya, I hope you can help us. Tatsuya, fine, but I'll tell my friends since we were searching before. Jumanji, it's okay. Tatsuya, you will help Issei. Issei, I have nothing to do so this. Jumanji, the truth is I have never seen you fight. What abilities you have? Issei, common, nothing to highlight, but I will help with whatever I can. Mayumi, well, thank you then. We start tonight. They both nodded and left the place. When they got home, they watched on TV to see if there was anything strange. Miyuki, be careful though. Tatsuya, it will be like that, don't worry. While giving him a hug? Issei, well, let's go, Tatsuya. He just nodded and they left the place. After a few minutes of searching, Tatsuya met Lena. Seconds later, Issei arrived. Issei, how have you been? Serious? Tatsuya, you know her. Issei, a little I would say, but I see that you have everything under control, so I will go that way. Lena, you won't get away easily this time. Issei, yeah, right? Moving at a high speed, appearing behind Lena. Issei, you couldn't even look at me. Upon hearing Issei's voice behind her, she turned around but didn't see him. Tatsuya, let's stop playing games. At that point, they both start the fight just like the story until Miyuki arrives and the group goes somewhere else. 34. Issei let out a light laugh upon arriving, causing everyone to look at him. Miyuki, something's wrong. Issei, I just remembered when Tatsuya defeated Lena and he was on top of her after how she screamed. Lena blushed in embarrassment when she remembered that, and Miyuki saw Tatsuya and just looked away. Lena, hey, don't talk about that anymore. Issei, yeah, right? Lena, you are someone unbearable. Issei, you're the first one to tell me that. Lena, yes, I believe you. After a few minutes of walking, they reach their destination and Miyuki and Lena start fighting. Tatsuya, he's not doing bad. Issei, I can tell, but if you keep going like this won't end well, and you know it, right? Tatsuya, I know, I'm keeping an eye on it. Issei, I know. A few minutes passed and both girls continued fighting until Tatsuya had to interfere so they could stop. After that, she gave some information and left the place. The next day, Tatsuya and company gave the information they found, but not much, so that they wouldn't suspect too much. Except Mayumi, who knew everything since Issei told her. At night, Issei and the brothers were in the house and the rest were investigating. Meanwhile, Mayumi was in a van giving the information. Mayumi, Valentine's Day is coming soon. It will be the first time I give someone chocolate. He said it with a big smile. The next day, everyone returned to school and it was quiet. While Issei walked through the halls until he came across someone. Issei, how are you, Lena? Lena, I would say well, and I would say well, what do you want? Issei, nothing, he was just walking, and why are you talking to him in that tone? Lena, you are a very mysterious person, do you think I will speak to you calmly? Issei, you could say that despite being a team leader, you lack some kindness. Lena, how do you know so much? Issei, I know many things. As he walked towards Lena, and she only took a few steps back until she ran into a wall, and Issei put his hand on the wall. Lena, what are you planning? If you don't get out of the way, I'm going to scream. Issei, try it. By then Issei had created a barrier and wanted to tease her a little. Lena, don't say I didn't warn you. Issei didn't say anything at that. She screams, but nothing happens. Lena, because nobody comes. Issei, I made sure no one would bother us so no one would hear you. Lena, how did you do that, or rather when? Issei, when we saw each other like this, no one bothered us. Lena, what do you want? Issei, nothing really, just to bother you a little. Lena, am I a clown or something? Get away from me. Trying to push Issei away from her, but he didn't move. Issei, well, since we're alone, tell me something, Lena. Lena, what? Issei, you are happy where you are. That question surprised her a little. Lena, what's that about? Issei, I'm just saying, I know what's going on, I'm not stupid, you know. Lena, the truth is, a little. Issei, I see, tell me you want help. Lena, you can't do anything. Issei, yes, I can, and I know that someone will come to leave you something. Lena, I would say something, but I know you won't tell me anything. Issei, maybe, but well, if you need help, let me know. Lena, because. Issei, I can sense the loneliness in you even if you don't show it. Lena, but because you want to help me, you don't know me. Issei, I know you a little, and if I can help, I will try. Lena, this is your way of winning someone over. Issei, maybe tell me it works. Lena, I give you a 6 out of 10. Issei, something to nothing. Lena, don't you have a partner? You're a womanizer, from what I can see. Issei, the truth is I have 2 partners. Those words surprised Lena. Lena, you have the nerve to say that so calmly, and when they find out, what will happen? Issei, they already know and are fine with it. Lena, you're joking, right? What kind of crazy person would accept that? Issei, if I tell you who they are, will you do something for me? Lena, because I would accept that. Issei, because I can see the curiosity in your eyes, so don't lie. Lena, of course you want it. Issei, I don't know, really. How about you go out with me one of these days? That only made her blush, since she had never dated anyone before. Lena, maybe you want me to be one of yours too. Issei, of course not, besides I just said leave, I don't know what you imagined. Lena, fine, I accept, but don't have high expectations. Issei, I can tell. Lena, and well, who are they? Issei, one of them is the student council president. Lena opened her eyes wide upon hearing that. Lena, how is that possible? Since when? Issei, Since last year she is a cute girl and she is very lively. Lena, I see. And who is the other one? Issei. She is one of the most powerful master class leaders and is feared throughout the world. Lena was surprised to hear that. Lena, who would that person be? Issei, it's Maya. When she heard that, she was in shock but quickly recovered from it. Lena, you're joking with me. Issei just shook his head and took out his cell phone and showed her a photo of the two of them together. Lena didn't know what to say since it was true. Lena, but how did that happen? Issei, I'd just say that's all I'd say. Lena, who you really are. Issei just put his forehead against hers. He was going to say something but he saw Issei fighting in a great battle, leaving him surprised. Lena, what was that? Issei, it was one of my battles from years ago. Lena, it's impossible, those things had wings and others were monsters. Issei, well that's how things are. At that Issei takes out a pair of wings leaving Lena shocked. Lena, this is a lot to process. Issei, maybe? Lena, so how old are you? Issei, the truth is I lost count a long time ago, and I stopped caring. Lena, and you say it so calmly. You are someone very strong, I could not beat you. Issei, if you train you can go far you know. I see potential in you. Lena, well, thank you for those words. Issei, I'm just telling the truth. I have a good eye for people. Lena, and who else knows this? Issei, my partners and the two brothers. Lena, I see they get along well. Issei, they are like the brothers I never had, that's why I support them with whatever I can. Lena, I can tell they're always together. Issei, it's funny sometimes. Just like you blush easily. Lena didn't say anything and just looked away in embarrassment. Lena, you have no shame in saying all those words. Issei, I wouldn't gain anything by lying. Lena, you are a weirdo. Issei, you tell me this being so young and already the leader of a great team. Lena, I earned it with so much effort. Issei, I can notice it, and you are also respected but you are also not very loved, right? Lena, you're right, not many are in favor of that and are fighting to stop them from bothering us. Issei, that's how some people are, they don't like to accept defeat. Lena, yes, but well, that's life. Issei, I know and I'm surprised that you don't have a partner being so cute. Lena, you don't waste time, do you? And besides, I don't have time for that. Issei, well right now you are on vacation, you can have some fun and when we leave no one will follow us, not even your companions. Lena, I would be really surprised, but I have to get used to that from you. And when would the departure be? Issei, why do you ask? Do you want to look good? Lena, of course not, so I have to free up my schedule. Issei, in a week, so I hope you're ready. Lena, good. After that Issei deactivated the barrier and both of them trusted the place, and seconds later they felt something and went in a hurry outside the place to see what was happening. 35. Day of Issei's departure in the DxD world. All the girls were in the room with a great silence until someone decided to break it. Sasha, that bastard will pay for this when he gets back, how dare he leave so quickly. Gabriel, well, he's someone who likes to explore. Misha, that's true, he's curious but he doesn't show it. Aika, well, what are we going to do now? Since you are here, you should also study. Juliet, and how are we going to explain that we have doubles? Aika, and since when have we explained something to someone? Juliet, well, you have a point there. And tell me, do you want to study? Sasha, of course I don't have much to do. Misha, it's fine by me and you Elanor. Elanor, of course I must continue training to help Issei in the future. Penemu, fine, I'll help you get in. Don't worry, but don't show too much of your magic because you won't attract much attention that way. Seraphal, here the demons are very greedy, especially when they are women. Sasha, well, if anyone comes near me they will know the consequences. Seraphal, I see, and you, Leifi, can stay if you wish. Soon your history will be clean. Leify, great, and what class would I be in? Griselda, well, we'd have to test you for that, just like you three. Misha, I'm ready. Sasha, I hope to keep wearing my uniform. But why is Issei wearing a white one if he's strong? Aika, she doesn't want to stand out, so she stays at a medium level. Penemu, although he doesn't do anything in class. Griselda, and you're right, but in my case I can't do anything. Elanor, because not. Griselda, well, I challenged him to a battle and in the end I lost. Seraphal, and what do you want to do, Isabella? Isabella, I'll stay home and make them food and clean so I stay busy. Aika, if you want, I can take you to my parents so you can see photos of Issei as a child. Isabella, it really sounds good because I couldn't believe it. Aika, and that's it. Isabella, well, when she opened her eyes she just told me her name, and she started growing until she was that age. Juliet, wow, maybe I didn't want to go through childhood again. Isabella, maybe. Aika, well, since everything has been said, let's go. At that, they both stand up and walk away in a magic circle. Seraphal, well then you four come with me as well as you Penemu and Griselda to help me. Gabriel, I'll get back to my job, so see you at dinner. They all stood up and left the room. As they left the building, everyone was staring at them, as Misha was with them and Juliet was with them. Penemu, I knew this would happen. Sasha, wow, this place is really different. But what I don't like are those looks. Seraphal, you'll get used to it over time, so be patient. Misha, the thing she has the least is patience. Leify, I really wanted to get in here but I couldn't before. And now that I can get in I'll be able to read a lot of books and learn more. Penemu, I'm glad to hear that. After a few minutes of walking they arrived at a stadium to be tested. 2 hours passed and they had already finished. Leify demonstrated her good use of magic, causing her to be placed in the S class. Sasha and Misha didn't have much difficulty as everything was very easy, just like Elanor. Griselda, well, the truth is I expected it. Seraphal, I wish you luck in your classes, which start today. Juliet, they will be with Aika and Irina, so don't worry. Sasha, thank goodness, someone I know would say. Penemu, but don't show too much of your magic, it's okay. As we said before, some people here only seek power. Especially the elders of the council who would do anything to become stronger. Seraphal, I can only wish luck to all of you. Leify, then Juliet, please guide us. The 5 of them started walking since they had their uniforms ready. When they got to class they knocked on the door, and the teacher was surprised to see Aika there and looked inside the classroom, but she was still there. But he came out of shock and took the roll. Teacher, okay, students. We have new students today, so don't make any noise. Come forward. The door opened and the girls came in. The boys were surprised when they saw them because there were 2 very familiar people there. Teacher, please introduce yourselves. Sasha, nice to meet you, my name is Sasha Necron. Bowing elegantly. Misha, my name is Misha Necron, I hope we get along. Making a small bow. Elanor, my name is Elanor, a pleasure to everyone. Leify, maybe some of you know me, but my name is Leify Pendragon. I hope we get along. Teacher, any questions? At that everyone raised their hand. Boy 1, you guys are identical to Aika and Juliet. Sasha, we were actually surprised to see them. But we have some things in common, we talk about them. Girl 1, where are they from? Misha, from a very far away place, that's all I can say. Boy 2, but you are not. Leify Pendragon was a criminal. Leify, that was before, everything is fine now. Teacher, okay, no more questions. And please take your seats. At that point all the girls look for one and Elanor and Leify take a seat next to Irina. She just gives them both a smile. And the 2 sisters near Aika. After a few hours of classes it was time for lunch and the group went out to the courtyard, but not before attracting a lot of attention. They were about to have lunch until some people arrived. Rias, Aika didn't know you had identical sisters. Aika, the truth is I would like my sisters to be fierce, we have a lot in common. Rias, I'm glad for you. It's a surprise to see you here, Pendragon. Leify, nice to meet you too. Sona, tell me some of you don't want to join our entourage. All the girls shook their heads. Rias, and why not? Sasha, we're already at one. Sona, and the one who could know. Elanor, at Issei's. That surprised both girls. Sona, and how did you meet him? Sasha, when he was traveling we met, and well we got along well and he talked to us about it. Misha, and he told us that we could come here to study. Rias, wow, he got partners so fast. And where is he? I haven't seen him since that day of the tournament. Aika, he went on a trip, he had something to do. He'll be back soon. Sona, Juliet, in a month we will go to Kyoto to make an alliance. Aika, will go too, Rias. Rias, that's right. Aika, well, it will be interesting. I like that place. It has very good hot springs. Leify, it's true, they are very relaxing. After a brief chat, both heiresses left the place. Elanor, is it just me or are the people here really weird? Sasha, you say that because you can't stop looking here. Aika, I won't lie to you, it will be like this for a long time, I hope you get used to it. Elanor, I will, but if you bother me, it won't go well for you. Juliet, that's how you talk. And tell me, Leify, did you talk to your friends about your departure? Leify, well, I sent them a letter. I hope they have taken it well as my brother, but it doesn't matter. I also have to get on with my life. Aika, that's good and don't worry, you won't be alone now. Leify just gave her a smile. After a few minutes the bell rang and everyone went back to class. When they finished they all went to the room where the others were.
Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.